We love this song. That's one of my favorite songs off of the Blueprint album. Jay-Z, so ambitious. And if you listen to the words, he said the motivation for me was them telling me what I could not be. And he said, oh, well. So I know a lot of you who connected with me, I'm a hip hop head. And so I listen to the greats. I'm an 80s baby. So I was raised in that golden age of hip hop, which was the 90s, right? It kind of really kicked off in the 80s. It was there in the 70s, really kicked off in the 80s. And, the 90s was the golden age of hip hop. And if you don't agree, you could come on the show and we could debate it. But the 90s, in my opinion, is the golden age of hip hop. So I am a hip hop head for those who are connected to me. But you see the title, Dr. Ma'at is not a real doctor who is qualified to teach our community, who is qualified to teach our community. And so I know you're like, what is that going on with Dr. Ma'at? Well, family, when I first came into what I call the so-called conscious community, I really want to call it the so-called unconscious community. But when I first came into this so-called conscious community, family, they threw eggs at Dr. Ma'at. I wasn't a real doctor. I had the white man's degree. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Okay. And so I said, you know what? I didn't address the claims back then because I was too busy working. All right. And people know the work is really offline. It's not online. It's a lot of there's a difference between digital work, right? Digital work and real world work, right? And so a lot of people do a lot of digital work. So they're online. They're constantly online. You see them all the time. They're online because that's where they do their work. I'm not really a digital person. That's why I go live maybe once or twice a week if I have time, because I'm on the ground. My boots are on the ground. I'm on the ground doing work. So I don't have time to address all of the claims and the foolishness that happens online. But give thanks for soldiers like Judi Ma'at. And so anyway, family, there was a claim that was put out by Young Pharaoh a few years back. And he said, Dr. Ma'at isn't a real doctor. And he actually had like thousands of people believing this stuff, right? Like really believing this stuff. So people were hitting me up like, you're not a real doctor. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not a real doctor? Like I'm matriculated, through the university. I wrote my dissertation, defended my dissertation like everybody else. Where is this coming from? And so this was coming from, I thought that was Jehudi in the building. But this was coming from a young man who was very disgruntled about, a debate that at the time I was a part of the Armor Raw squad. And so we were really banging back then at that time. And so he was very disgruntled. He was embarrassed about a lot of things. And so he put out bones on different people, bad bones on different people who were a part of the Armor Raw squad. And so anyway, family, I want to share my screen with you because like I said, give thanks to Brother Jehudi Ma'at. This brother did a whole video, really defending me. And like I said, at that particular time, I didn't have time. And let me stop sharing and reshare to make sure that I'm sharing my audio. Yes, I'm sharing my audio. I didn't have the time nor the energy, family, to address such, fallacious claims, because again, my work is offline, right? My work is offline. It's not online. Okay. And like I said, it's a difference between digital work and real world work. And I opt to be involved more so in real world work than digital work. All right. And so anyway, there was a young brother named Brother Jehudi Ma'at. I call him my little young warrior, my little young brother. And he created this video, family. And if you want to watch the entire video, there you go, Jahed. They mean you're not dead. Well, they didn't mean that I wasn't a medical. They wasn't that specific, Jed. They weren't that specific. They were saying not a real doctor. And what they did not understand, brother, is that you can get a doctorate in any field. You can get a PhD or a doctoral degree in any field: math, engineering, science, nursing, education, computer science, political science, law. You can get a PhD in any of these fields. So that's not what they weren't saying that. When they said not a real doctor, they weren't saying not a real doctor because you're not a medical doctor. So you made that up, family. You made that up. And let me move on. Tether in the house, much love, peace and reparation to FBA. Peace and love to you. And Brother Kermit, he said they must have met a reverend doctor. I still can't understand that one. Yep, absolutely. So anyway, I'm gonna play the video that Brother Judi Ma'at has on his channel. As a matter of fact, I'll drop the link in the chat for you to watch the entire video. I think the video is about,
I know.
okay, so 19 minutes and 48 seconds long. And the name of the video on YouTube is called Young Pharaoh Exposes Himself, trying to expose Dr. Umar Johnson. And he said, shame on you. But in this video, not only did he address the claim that Dr. Umar Johnson is not a real doctor, he also said that I wasn't a real doctor. And so anyway, I'm going to play the clip that pertains to me. All right, so here we go, family.
What a doctor is or what it encompasses.
You know why they call doctors doctors? Because they're given permission to practice motherfucking in the medical field using unnatural remedies such as prescription drugs. That's why you have to be given permission to do something, because it's not natural. So that being said, the doctor title in your name, and you coming out your mouth and you stating on your website that you're a psychologist, means that you were given permission by corporate America to let's say express yourself underneath this occupation. And nigga, you have not. That is the problem.
And this isn't the first time, family. He did the same exact thing to the good sister, Dr. Oya Mayat. Let's go to the tape.
First of all, I'm a blast Dr. Mayat. Dr. Mayat. Here's Dr. Mayat. Let me show y'all a picture real quick. Okay, family, y'all see Dr. Mayat? Now, Dr. Mayat is not a real doctor. Dr. Mayat only has a certificate, a doctoral degree in electrical engineering, okay? So the only thing Dr. Mayat should be talking about is helping you cut your lights on in your house. There's no way with that degree, Dr. Mayat is qualified, according to European scholarly credentials, to be speaking on Egyptology in any type of way, or to be speaking on science in any type of way. Now, the only way Dr. Mayat will be able to do.
So I just had to cut him off, family. It's not a certificate, it's a degree. That's first and foremost. Not a certification, it's a degree. And he doesn't understand the difference between a technician and an electrical engineer. So he confused the two. So did you hear him? He said, the only thing, she's an electrical engineer, but the only thing that she can talk to me about or talk to you about is cutting on your lights. So he doesn't understand, the difference between a technician and an electrical engineer. He also doesn't understand that that electrical engineering is a very broad field. We don't only deal with electricity or like building electric circuits. We also deal with cybersecurity. Think about your smart cars and your smart TVs and your smart devices. Who do you think is securing that or creating code and embedded systems to secure those devices? An electrical engineer. Why are you on the internet right now? You're on the internet because of an electrical engineer. Why were you able to continue working via Zoom and all of these other platforms, right? Meeting platforms, because of electrical engineers. So he doesn't even understand how broad the field of electrical engineering is. We do cybersecurity, we do coding, we do electric circuits, we do robotics, we do all sorts of stuff. Electrical engineering is one of the broadest field, or is the broadest field of engineering. But he doesn't get it, family. And you know what's sad? A lot of you fools believed it.
Do this is if she self-educated herself in these areas, since she did not get these credentials from a college university. So now this will put her in my playing field.
He said, I didn't get my credentials from a college or university. The proof is coming.
The same playing field? Bruh, y'all not even in the same league, yo. You in your backyard somewhere playing a pseudo form of comedic kickball. And the sister is in the big leagues, yo. Hitting home runs. What's you talking about? How can you even fix your face to try to devalue the sister and what she accomplished, yo? Knowing where the sister came from and for her to achieve black excellence like she did. And you the same brother that likes to teach the black woman is God. What, the black woman is God as long as she's not intellectually superior than you are? Come on, fam, we gotta do better. And y'all eat this stuff up. Yeah. You see the sister flipping through her dissertation. What you know about that, bro? Uh-huh. You see the diploma, right? Read through it. Morgan State University. Doctor of Engineering. Doctor, bro. Come on, man. I gotta cut this stuff out, man.
And I had to add something to this. If anyone do a quick Google search, you'll see that 5% of engineers are black. I want to repeat that 5% of engineers are black. And of that 5%, maybe 1 or 2%, not even two, about 1% of that 5% is comprised of females. Typically, black women do not pursue STEM. Why? I don't know. And that's why myself and other Black female PhDs have been creating programs to increase the interest and participation of Black women in STEM, because there simply aren't a lot of Black women in STEM. Especially engineering. Engineering is a white male dominated field. I repeat, engineering is a white male dominated field. 65% of engineers are white. It just is white males, by the way. 65% of the engineers are white males. So typically, even white women don't go into STEM. You know, a lot of women don't. There aren't a lot of women in STEM, period, or particularly engineering. That's what I'm speaking about. But 5% of engineers are black. And around the time that I first enrolled at Morgan to pursue my degree in electrical engineering, at that particular time, only 3%, and we're talking like in 1999, right? This is when I was pursuing my bachelor's. Only 3% of engineers were black at that particular time. When I graduated with my doctor of engineering in 2013, I think I was the 14th black woman in the US to receive a doctor of engineering. And this is not to brag or say, oh, I think it's none of that. It's just to tell you that he downplayed, a black woman who was in a field. I'm already battling white folks, right? So I'm already battling with white men, and so now I'm battling with my own brother who doesn't see the value in what I'm pursuing, And so anyway, family, I'm going to go ahead and continue to play it.
Man, this ain't even funny no more. Now let's see all the sister had to go through to achieve and get what she got. But you want to devalue the sister and say the white man just gave it to her. You want to devalue the brother Dr. Umar Johnson and say the white man just gave him that. Come on, yo. Like he didn't do nothing to earn that. And it's not just you. Too many of our brothers and sisters who claim to be super conscious devalue some of our greatest minds and some of our greatest scholars. Try to belittle them by calling them coons and part of Greek fraternities like they some kind of Greeks and sellouts, Masons, whatever, because they articulate a little better than you do. We got to come up off that, family. It's time. And I have no doubt that that's seeped into our culture by the enemy, by way of the enemy. I have no doubts about that, yo, because why would we do it to ourselves? And y'all know what I'm talking about, too. Let a brother or sister come home after 5 years with a diploma in hand from a major college university. Oh, man, look at this coon with the white man's education thinking they all that. Fuck out of here. You ain't all that. But let a brother come home from 5 years of prison. Oh, shit, homie is home. Yo, let's throw the party. Let's celebrate. That's killing us, y'all. It's killing us. And don't get me wrong, yo. I know it goes both ways. I know some of them come home and do be acting bougie and looking down on you. But Dr. Oya Ma'at and Dr. Umar Johnson, they from the same place you from. They right here with you where you at. So that ain't no excuse, family. Now let's see if a doctor of engineering only specializes in cutting on and off lights, like the brother Young Pharaoh would like us to believe. Here we go. Engineering is the discipline and profession that applies scientific theories, mathematical methods, and empirical evidence to design, create, and analyze technological solutions cognizant of safety, human factors, physical laws, regulations, practicality, and cost. In the contemporary era, engineering is generally considered to consist of the major primary branches of chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. There are numerous other engineering subdisciplinaries and interdisciplinary subjects that are derived from concentrations, combinations, or extensions of the major engineering branches. I think it's a little more complex than just turning off and on lights, bruh. Young Pharaoh, I recommend you read this also from collegeatlas.org. Types of doctoral degrees. Over the last few centuries, there has been substantial evolution and proliferation in the number and types of doctoral degrees. Historically, these degrees would entitle the holder to be addressed as doctor. Skipping down was highlighted. The following are general classifications of doctoral degrees. Now you could just scroll down on that page, that same page, and you'll see as I have highlighted, Doctor of Engineering. All right? She's a doctor, young Pseudo. Not the same playing field, bro.
Baby, is it burning? Well, see now, you learning.
And I'm just going to suggest for you, Young Pharaoh, and a lot of other super conscious people to be on YouTube, go to this website right here, Morgan State University, where Dr. Oyama graduated from. And look what she had to go through. Look what I couldn't even read all of this, yo. I got a headache. Scroll down and read all of that, what she had to go through. Why y'all want to piss on our people that put in so much work to get these degrees and just brush it off as the white man's science and white man's education, and you just want to give all the credit to white people like they created science. Look up Tep Haseb. All right, just one instance or one example of how science originated in the continent of Africa. It's always been yours and it's still yours now.
Baby, is it burning? Well, see now, you learning.
Along with mathematics and the correct method and ways to find the truth in all things. Now, I already know a bunch of young pseudos, groupies is going to be all in the comments section calling me a hater, a hating ass nigga, and all that crazy shit. So, young pseudo, I'm going to need you to talk to them. They're not going to believe me. So you tell it to them.
Respect the truth. I know some of y'all not going to like it. Some of y'all going to be upset because some of y'all motherfuckers, y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all just be mad that somebody that y'all fuck with got exposed, and you just be mad that your dreams got crushed, and y'all be mad at the nigga for exposing them.
Cool. Thank you, my bro. But what about when they try to come back and be like, well, he does teach a lot of real shit to the youth that a lot of elders ain't teaching?
I don't give a fuck. A lot of fake niggas say real shit. The fuck is you talking about? Bitch? What are y'all talking about?
Damn, my G, you didn't have to go that hard on them, bro. But since you keeping it a buck, when you and Steady was counting that money after the bedroom lecture about the Medu Neter not being deciphered, tell me how you really feel about the black people that follow y'all, bro.
You dumb fucks. So y'all niggas, y'all some stupid ass. Yo, black people, y'all the most easiest manipulated motherfuckers in the world. All y'all gotta do is love a nigga. Once y'all love somebody, they can say anything.
Hold up, bro. Wilder, my G, calm down, yo. I'm gonna just end it on this last question, man, this bonus question. Now, how do you feel about your followers that are still calling you Young Pharaoh, the adjective young?
I'm a grown ass man, my nigga. Is you stupid? Is you dumb? Is you fucking retarded?
No doubt. Excellent point, man. And with that, I'm out, family. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hey, yo, Haven Pellets, I see you, fam. Keep that smoke over there. You don't want these fire flames over here, yo.
All right, so anyway, he getting ready to get into something else. But that was Judi, my eye, and I do appreciate. I'm so tired of brothers calling. I do appreciate that brother. I do appreciate that brother for stepping in, you know, and creating that video. Because like I said, at that particular time, and brother Onk, peace to brother Onk, who's on the panel. But at that particular time, I just didn't have the energy nor the time to address BS. And so anyway, yes, I do have a doctorate of engineering. And I'm using my doctorate. I'm using my knowledge. I'm using my knowledge, my skills, my connections to promote STEM in our community, because I wholeheartedly believe that it is through STEM that we can liberate ourselves. The great Booker T. Washington, he fought for independence through industry. That was his thing, independence through industry. I'm fighting for independence through STEM. Okay, nation building through STEM, and then protecting that nation with STEM. Okay, that's the only way that we can get. The only way we can get free or liberate ourselves is by being involved in STEM, getting our children involved in STEM. And so I'm a huge advocate of STEM, and that is what I'm using my degree to do. I can get a job at Lockheed Martin or Northrop Grumman or NASA or the NSA or the CIA or whomever, Black and Decker, Boone's Allen, all sorts of places, and make 200,000 a year and live comfortably. But that is not what I choose to do, because that is not success to me. Success to me, and I've said it before, is liberation and sovereignty. That is success to me. And I believe wholeheartedly that it is achievable through STEM. And peace to Brother Ankh, who's on the panel. Brother Ankh, you already know I love you to death, because you were pushing STEM before I even got in this community, Brother Ankh. And they were throwing tomatoes at you when you talked about evolution, when you talked about research methodology. You were getting eggs and all sorts of things thrown at you. And I commend you, Brother Ankh, because literally you went through the house of consciousness and you wiped them out, Brother Ankh. Brother Ankh, can you hear me?
I'm right here. Let me do this. This is what we like to do.
Go ahead. What you about to do?
We like to do this. Big up to the Ravens, though. It's that time again, but we like to,
hey.
do that. Let's do this. Let's get them right. We know what we're doing around here, right?
What
we absolutely, positively.
Pseudo killers on deck.
That's what we doing.
Pseudo killers on deck. Pseudo killers on deck.
Yeah, we
absolutely. But Brother Ankh, I had to address that. I finally remember it took years for me to address that, because remember that claim was floating around. She's not a real doctor and she's an electrician. She has a certificate. She only cut on lights. And shout out to my electricians and my technicians. Shout out to all of them, because I respect that discipline. However, that's just not me, right? That's not me. I'm not an electrician and I'm not a technician. I'm an electrical engineer, and there's a difference, you know? And so it's not to be condescending towards them, because I respect those disciplines. You know, a matter of fact, one of the technicians, Mr. Andre Lewis at the School of Engineering, he's our backbone at the school. We wouldn't be able to run our labs without him. And so I salute and I respect, you know, that discipline of being an electrician and a technician. I respect that, but don't classify me as that, because that's not what I am. That's not what I studied. Yeah. You know how electrical
NASA can't do without you.
Facts.
Right. So, hey man, we know that, and they all work together. Y'all if you want to try to downplay an electrician, then go to Africa. They have a hard time keeping the lights on.
Facts.
So that means they're missing engineering. They don't have it, and they don't have the proper electricians to really connect everything. So that's a mistake, and it was a joke, and everybody thought it was funny. But it clearly proved, if you don't understand what an engineer is, then you definitely not qualified to teach the people. It makes no sense. He's supposed to at least have look it up. We're in the age of the online handheld computers. So you should be able to look that up and know that she's an engineer, right? And you should know what that is. But to downplay that and just be a nut running your mouth is bananas to me. So we need to really get all that settled and all that put in its proper context. Who really is qualified to teach African people, to teach African Americans? That's the real subject here. And, you know, I've dealt with this with the bananas, tomatoes. You know, I bring qualified people in like you. I brought a qualified person in. You kind of gave us our matzi. You gave us, we got PhDs. You brought all the PhDs on the blog. We had conversations with Black PhDs. We've always promoted that. And we got tomatoes thrown at us. You know,
Did we?
We was preparing them. We're actually preparing people to be able to realize that being a PhD don't make you white. Being a PhD simply means you went through a certain rigor of study. And I'll never forget, you said when you go get your PhD, it's not that they teach you how to think. They saying they want you to be just mess it up. They say being a PhD, they teach you how to think. No, they want you to think on your own. That's why you're a PhD, write your thesis. You become creative in your thought process. And
Brother,
so
brother Unc, brother Unc, I know you're going in, but I don't know if you're breaking up. Family, is he breaking up or is it my internet connection? I just want to make sure. No, no, no. I know you can hear me, but it was like the internet connection. I want to see if I was breaking up or if you were breaking up because you were really going in, and I want people to hear what you were saying. Family, tell me in the chat, was that brother Onk breaking up or is it my internet connection? Because earlier today I got a message that said my internet connection was weak. Who was breaking up? Some people said break. Wrong goat just said breaking up. Okay, they said you were breaking up, brother Onk. They said you were breaking up a little. KC said you were breaking up just a little, and Tiffany said just a little. You were breaking up. All right, so brother, go ahead and talk about that. When you said with the PhD, they're not teaching you what to think; they're requiring you to think.
no, they actually require you to think in the of quotations based off of creative thinkers with I would like to say with rails, meaning everybody think that thinking outside the box is such a great thing. It's really not, because you be all over the place. And the conscious community is all over the place. It's the PhD that gives you rails. You need that. Your focus. You're not teaching you how to think. They're allowing you to be creative in your thought. This is what it is. Creativity. The foundation of early Homo sapiens sapiens was creativity. It's creativity to save the world at 250, 190,000 BCE in Pinnacle Point, right? They was very creative in their approach to survival. They had to get creative. They're doing is doing a glacial stage, an ice age. Food is done. Africa is dry. Other places are iced out. There's no food. These Africans migrate down to caves and get very creative. They're your first shellfish eaters. So now we got to eat shellfish. Out goes the window being a vegan, right? They ate grubs, right? They was creative in their approach to survivability. This is where the PhD come from. Those who are the most creative within the framework of things, meaning you have enough rails to stay focused. You're not everywhere, right? But you're very creative. This is the world we live in. It's those who are very creative and can centralize their creativity to make something happen. The problem with the conscious community, right? They think outside the box, which is really a horrible thing because you're everywhere. There's set way of being. What do you mean about conscious community? What is the foundation of it? What It's everywhere. And when it's everywhere, crazy things can be brought into the fold. And I was like, wow, we need some scientific literacy because it puts rails on it. Science puts the rails on you. You can't run from science. It makes you focus. What are you trying to say? Okay, let's prove what you're saying. Can we verify that? What's the method of reaching that particular situation? What are you talking about? And the conscious community want that. Everybody wants to be a teacher. Everybody wants to be a great thinker in the conscious community. But I realized it was all fraudulent. And they're still
Mm.
promoting that fraudulent to this day. How most, if not all, 99% of the conscious community leaders, I'm gonna say 99%,
Mm.
right, was anti-medical science, right? During the time period needed black leaders to step up in the conscious community. They was anti-Onesimus. This is a West African thinker, right? Anti all of that. Don't do it. Ha ha. Like Rizza Islam, he's elevated these bananas with his approach to proper thinking, right? He's not where he's supposed to be, but we have elevated him, right? He's allowed on all the platforms. He's actually not qualified to talk to the African American community. I'll tell you
Mm.
real quick why. So if I'm going to be a person and I'm going to be, say, anti-medical science, right? And anti-regulations, right? And then I want to be, say, anti vaccinations, right? And then I send you to a source, okay? And that very source support everything I just said. Then what? Then really who am I really? Right? The go-to for Rizza Islam is the CDC, y'all. Why would he send you to the CDC? The CDC agrees with high-level medical science. The CDC agrees with scientific literacy. The CDC agrees with regulations. The CDC was actually created to track down infectious disease. And we can talk about the mistakes the CDC made all we want. But I'd rather have mistakes made by experts than the millions of mistakes non-experts make. So it's
Mm.
actually like this. Non-experts clearly make more mistakes than experts. If that wasn't true, why would we have to have experts? The field of being an expert would just go away. What Dr. Mayat does would just disappear. Like, why? We don't need
That's
experts. We don't need any rails. The whole infrastructure would fall down in North America if not for the experts, if not for the creative thought. You won't even get out of Africa. So, this whole misnomer about against the experts and a person that has influence no more than the experts is where we fall apart.
mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
makes you special, Doc, is that you're not only just an expert, right? You're not only just qualified, you're an expert with some sense because we can see there are plenty of experts that might not know what they're talking about. We're not
Come on.
saying
Come on. Come
we're
on.
saying qualified experts that know what they're talking about. That's what we say. Still be a person who has no real training. Formal training is important at times. So, when your life depends on it, y'all, man, and our life depended on this during this pandemic. Our lives, our family depend on making the right decisions. We had to fight TikTok, YouTube, and all the Twitter. We had to fight all that. We had to fight the misinformation. We had to go through all of that when it was a simple decision. If you're not qualified, then you need to back off. Our life is extinct right now. Now, I'm gonna say something, but I'm not gonna mention any names because families were actually hurt, and I don't never want to downgrade black families, right? So I've actually had people that was talking trash, right, to me live about vaccines. Don't do it. You know what you're talking about, brother? You a clown. You all these things, right? Feel people, and guess what, y'all? They're dead. Now the reason
Mm.
I'm not mentioning their names
No,
because
you don't got to. You don't got
I'm,
to.
I'm not. I wouldn't do that
Mm.
because I
Mm.
respect black families more. I respect the loved ones that they left behind. But you
Mm.
know what I say they committed? They actually committed pseudocide. That their pseudo ways caused them to misinform their own selves, which caused them to make bad decisions, and they lost their life. Well, they could
Mm.
have said they had a vaccine and would have been living. So
Mm.
listen, man, science is undefeated. Science is an endeavor that took place on the continent of Africa prior to anyway.
Facts.
Now, you can say, well,
Facts.
modern science, okay, we know the difference between modern science, right? But we understand the undertone of recognizing that basically that the prerequisite to what we later on become science. So we can find this in a lot of places in Africa. Actually, science is a human endeavor at the end of the day, because Homo sapiens sapiens started to figure out that those who are more scientific will always usurp those who are not.
Mm.
So the community does not grow because they do not respect science. People don't really care about programs. Now, Dr. I was keeping this under wraps for a long time, Doc, about the teaching the kids scientific literacy, the programs. I've seen the pictures, Doc. Now everybody knows that you actually have a program teaching young black babies scientific literacy. We see them in the lab, we see them dealing with it, right? But they still throw tomatoes at you. I find this to be egregious. What is the conscious community doing? They during the time where our lives were being attacked by a pathogen, the conscious community denied the pathogens. They denied the germ theory. We all heard them say, "Oh, the germ theory ain't we heard that." They denied the mechanisms, immunology, and virology. They denied all that because Fauci was white. All of a sudden, he's white. Don't listen to him. That wasn't the time for that, to throw in our black politics and that. That wasn't the time for that, right? You disrespected the sister, right? That helped bring forward the Moderna mRNA vaccine. They disrespected that sister.
Kamisha.
The
I think her
sister,
name is Kamisha. Mm-hmm.
yeah, she was so cold with it. She said, "Don't take the vaccine because I helped make it. because I'm black. Take it because it's right and it works. So, you know, we got the, like, we still black African power all day. But you got to know where this pathogen took away, what, 2.5 years, you know what I'm saying, from black people. Our life expectancy went down 2.5 years because of a pathogen. We needed qualified people. That's why what Doc is doing, see, Doc is going to cause those young babies to be influenced by science, and they're going to go into these fields. Doc won't tell you, I tell you, man, you're on a very short list, Doc, of some of the first people to get the PhD in your field. I mean, do you want to tell him?
Oh, I said it. I talked to him about it. I said it before you logged on. I talked about it.
Do you know how long it took to get you to talk about that, Doc?
Right.
That's horrible. But how many people will you motivate to go into these fields, right? So that we can, but even when you're black in that field, you still scarf that with the misinformation.
Facts.
So not to beat up on a person's religion, not to beat up on any of that. I'm just here to tell you, man, we rely on the experts because the experts will be the most qualified amongst you. Important, qualified to teach you. Not because of your status, because you talk the best. I've never been the best talker.
Or you got the most views, or the most subscribers, and all of that crap.
No, you was influenced by foolery when you did that. He's a great speaker, no doubt. Great speaker, knows how to do it, but everything he says is ass backwards. And it's not fair. We tried to bring him into a conversation. He'd rather not have a conversation with me. He'd rather cuss and fuss with Young Pharaoh. Why?
Or Chakra Bars, or the brother Chakra Bars.
Why would he rather talk to them? Because maybe I don't have enough views. And maybe my conversation would be too much to handle because you can't use the go-to on me. The CDC, as soon as you use that CDC card, I'm saying, but sir, the CDC is actually, they track infectious disease and they agree with everything. So obviously you're misusing the CDC. You're doing what the pseudos always do. They always misread the sources they bring. They wasn't using sources at first until we made them change that. Now everybody wants to use sources, but the sources never support what they're saying. So,
and that's the sign of a straight up pseudo, brother. But I want to move to this clip really quickly, and I want to tell people the motivation for this discussion. I posted a clip.
I'm so tired of brother.
I posted a clip, family, on IG called "Who is Qualified to Teach Our Community?" And there was a quote that was given to me by my younger cousin. We call him Kool-Aid, but his name is Aaron. He said, in order to be certified, you must be verified by someone who is qualified. So he came over, brother Unc. He put me on with the quote. I took it and I ran with it. I said, I'm taking the quote from you. So he gave it to me. I took it and ran with it. And I've been repeating it ever since, right? In order to be certified, you must be verified by someone who is qualified. Now, and if we go out of this, if I click out of this, family, let me show you. Let me go back, click out of this. It had over, they're just showing me the likes, over 1,000 likes, but 161 comments. Family, they threw eggs at me. Matter of fact, let me.
I'm so tired of brothers calling themselves teachers. Everybody that sits on this couch says that they are a teacher. Now, family, I would just like to say this, and I want you to remember this quote. In order to be certified, you must be verified by someone who is qualified. I'm gonna say that again, brother Sai. In order to be certified, you must be verified by someone who is qualified. So brothers and sisters, when a sister comes or a brother comes before you and they claim to be a teacher of some sort, your first question should be, where is your body of work? Where's your body of work? Your second question should be, who verified it? Because anybody can publish books. That's why when the brothers get on this platform side and they say, oh, I published 10 books. I published 20 books, 30 books. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by your 20 books, 30 books. You could tell me you published 1,000 books, but I'm not impressed by that because the question is, even though anybody can publish a book, you and I can publish a book right now, Si, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's scholarship. It doesn't mean that it's scholarly. It's not scholarly. It's not scholarly until
a group of experts in that particular field scrutinizes the work and confers the work. Then it's called scholarship. So you can write a million books on a particular topic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's scholarship. It doesn't mean that it's scholarly until it goes through a process called peer reviewed. I'm so tired of brothers calling themselves.
So, brother Unc, when I put this clip out, they threw tomatoes at me. So I was initially, and this is why in the caption you see, I said the charlatans and the sheep are big mad with me on at Voices of Our Ancestors and at Culture Bound bookstore pages for my position on who is qualified to teach our people. I said what I said, and so I stood 10 toes down, brother Unc, on what my position is, that people who come into our community to teach us must be qualified or must be verified, by someone who is qualified. So they're all in the comment section on these 2 pages. Oh, Dr. Ma'at, because she got a white man's degree, she's saying I didn't mention the degree. So that's what I saw that a lot of people were projected. I didn't say in this clip, family, that you need a degree to teach. I didn't say that at all. I simply said in order to be certified, you must be verified by someone who is qualified. I didn't say you need a degree, because if that's the case, then I would say Dr. Ben wasn't qualified to teach because he didn't have a degree. But Dr. Ben is qualified to teach because Dr. Ben was verified by people who were qualified. And he did not have his PhD. So a lot of people came into the comment section, family, projecting, is Dr. Ma'at saying that you need a white man's degree to teach? Is Dr. Ma'at saying that you need this to teach or white people to verify? I didn't say anything about white people, and I didn't say anything about degrees. I just simply said that people who come into our community should be verified by people who are qualified. So, brother Unc, I want you to speak to that, because that's something that you, and I know that the pseudo killers, you all just had a conversation about Dr. Ben, because people were calling him out. He didn't have a degree. He lied about a degree. He was pseudo. He was this. He was that. Can you talk to the people about what makes Dr. Ben qualified to teach on the subject matters that he taught on?
First of all, I'm not the guy to get mad at an African American brother during the time when they was fighting for their civil rights, where the babies was getting water hosed down the street with 2,000 pounds of pressure, where that's the fire department entrusted to make sure people are protected from fire. The police department releasing German shepherds. This is the organization entrusted to protect all Americans, no matter what their color is. So I'm not having that fight if you lied on your maid. That I'm not the one to do that to him for that, right? We know he did it. I'm saying to that. So what? What about the German shepherds? What about not giving people their civil rights? What about the mistreatment? How about that? Let's have that conversation. As for the qualifications, obviously he was qualified enough to actually work in a university for 12 years, an Ivy League university. They knew his track record because he got fired from another college prior to that because he had lied on his resume. So obviously they was looking at the work he was actually doing, the way he was doing it. So if the Ivy League school was like for 12 years, you good, then he would have to be good in my eyes. Now, did he make mistakes in information? Yes, he did, as all academics do, as all people make mistakes, right? So if you would ask me today, if he was alive with a handheld goddamn computer, I'm saying, what would he say? There were a lot of things that would change. And some of the things, like I ain't got him using the word black when you come to talking about African people, right? That's a social construct. But during the time he was coming up, that was the conversation. Was the Egyptians black? Was they white? That was the argument. But he wouldn't use those type of things because he would be thoroughly entrenched in evolution and recognize that that's not what you would use right now today. So everybody want to go back in time and go dig up Dr. Ben. Man, listen, man, Dr. Ben work is there for all us to read, right? I read through his text. If not for Dr. Ben, I wouldn't even have thought to look at evolution, because we was taught that one, evolution is against God, and two, it's definitely a white thing. And 3, we come from monkeys. That's how I was taught. That's how we all was taught. But when you look at his work, right? He talks about Charles Darwin and what he meant. He talks about Albert Churchwood. John Jackson does the same thing. So they introduced me into how to get to African history. You get to it, one, by studying evolution, because that's the origin of humanity. Evolution takes you straight to Africa. I'm going to say it again. Before you can begin to study African history, you got to study the origin of the human race. And when you study the human race, it takes you straight to Africa by way of evolution. It verifies it. So I find it to be very funny for those who claim to be Black power, Black African power, and Black this and Black that, but yet deny evolution. Well, the Egyptians was first, or the Africans was first. Well, how do you prove and verify that then? You can only prove and verify that through evolution, which the majority, 99% of the conscious community deny. They deny that, right? And so Dr. Ben did a great job of putting us where we need to be. Was he perfect? No. Right? Did he make mistakes? Of course he did. Make mistakes. Matter of fact, they're going to be able to play back videos I did. Matter of fact, I might do a whole tape of mistakes I made 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Hell, the new satellite, not the new telescope, James Webb, right? A lot of shit we thought was true prior to the launch of the James Webb ain't. What are we going to do about it? So, yeah, everybody got their, Dr. Bah, but we had like African studies was at the centerpiece of everything back then. Doc, it wasn't. He stepped up along with, why would we need a John Jackson? Why would we need a Dr. Ben? You know what I'm saying? Well, why would we need a John Henry Clark? I mean, if they was teaching them, you couldn't even go to a white school. You couldn't get to the real books, the good books. You couldn't. So we acting like that's what I hate the most. When people from 2022 try to judge a person off of 2022 standards.
Oh, Brother Ark, you sound like me. I said that to your butt a long time ago. You talking about, I just hate when people try to judge I've been saying that to you when you was getting on me for supporting Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, because somebody was on your channel. I forgot the guy's name.
Shabazz.
And he was just like, yeah, we need to retire before the Columbus. And I called you up heated. And I was like, what? So I'm going off. And I said that to you several years ago. I said it to you several years ago, Brother Ark.
He was right, though.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'm saying, whoa. I'm a retired Dr. Ben's books, too. Right? But I'm saying, so if my kids want to learn about evolution, the Dr. Ben book wouldn't be the first book I give it to, right? But if the discussion is, well, what teachers, right, in the Black community was teaching evolution, then I'm going to give them the Dr. Ben's books. I'm going to give them John Jackson, Christianity Before Christ. I'm going to give them all that, right? But that's okay. Like, there are plenty of books. Jahagri, I can't even say his name, Higgins, The History of the World, that's outdated. You know what I'm saying? Like, the white community ain't bringing you those super old authors anymore. We got to know when to retire stuff and move forward. And being retired is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like people retire with their head up. Nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of works that are actually retired. That, Premortal Signs and Symbols, Albert Churchwood retired at. John Henry Clark wrote the forward of those books. Do we still start them? No, we don't start them off with that no more. So I think there's a lot of mix up. People just hate to hate sometimes, man.
Okay, hold up. But look, Corey in the building, you know, he has something to say. He said Dr. Ben was a snake oil salesman, yo. So then you got Kent and them. Kent put the eyeballs in here, Brother Ankh. So the pseudo killers are watching,
Kent,
Brother
Ankh. You better hit that link. Kent be having some questions. Kent, man up and ask Doc the question you really want to ask it. Don't play scared now. Ask the question. Right. See, I ain't gonna do their bidding for them. Right. But even at that whole thing, the way they feel about it, that's what the conscious community didn't have, Doc. They didn't have that healthy discussion of seeing, you know, all sides of the story, though. And I think that's important, right? We want to talk about the whole Dr. Ben Wikipedia page, right? And the things he didn't get right, we want to talk about that. But we also want to talk about the things he got right.
I
And
say.
that's where the shit don't work right. Everybody want to turn a man down, right? And when you defend him with the stuff he did do, they don't want to recognize that. But we got to recognize stuff that he did, that, you know what I'm saying, that didn't reach what they felt like was the pinnacle. And that's the bull crap.
That is the bullcrap. And shout out to brother Q Butter. Q Butter wrote, he said you wouldn't hire a mechanic, carpenter, babysitter, etc., that no other professional in their similar profession knows or would recommend. I say, because when I go to the damn dentist office, brother Onk, I look for the certificate on the wall. I do. You know, when I'm at the doctor's office, I look to see their credentials on the wall and in the office. Hey, Q Butter, let's add this Q Butter to it. You wouldn't want your damn family, you or your family, you wouldn't take yourself or your family on a damn plane, right? That was flown by a pilot who said, I'm an autodidact and I verified myself. You would get off that plane. We all would get off that plane. You want to get on a plane, brother Ark, right? With somebody who went through the process of being verified, right? By people who were qualified. That's what you would do. If the pilot got on the mic, brother, can you imagine that? Everybody sitting in their seats and the pilot got on there and said, look, I'm an autodidact. I taught myself how to fly a plane. I watched some YouTube videos, right? And I think I can do it. Everybody would get off the damn plane. So thank you so much, brother Q Butter. Thank you so much for your comment. But keep on going, brother Onk.
So, I mean, you know, and hey, ain't none of us perfect around here. You know, everybody has their own standard, the way they want to go deal with the people. I think on your show, you give everybody fair bidding on your show. Like I wouldn't have some of the people on my show that you bring on the show. I just wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
That's my thing. Hey, we could take it because you and I argue about this behind closed doors. But
Hold
we
on,
can do it public. We can do it publicly.
Hold on, make it known. Do me and you argue about this behind? Because niggas is acting like I don't argue with you about that behind closed doors. I just want to hear you say it, Doc.
Oh yeah, we do. We go back and forth. Like, why did you have this person on, or why did you have this person on? And I have my intentions. I have my intentions, and I have my agenda, and I'm sticking and I'm standing 10 toes on that too.
Well, see, Doc, they think I'm a lame. They think I wouldn't have that conversation with you. They really think that I would say that. Of course.
Yeah, we talk.
Right, stop it. So that killed all the pseudo killers in the building with that. Y'all just died. Kent, you just died, Kent. See how quick you died, Kent? Yeah, you died, Kent. You're done. Bye-bye, Kent. You shouldn't have died right there. Kent, I ain't want to kill you. Like, Kent, my main man. Man, shout out to Kent, man. Pseudo killer official. Shout out to Brendan, pseudo killer official. Shout out to Sheffrin L, pseudo killer official. Shout out to Cosmic Corey, pseudo killer official. Shout out to Cedric. Shout out to King Sosa, all pseudo killers official, man. I appreciate the bros, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to that channel, man. But back to the discussion, Doc.
Hold up, cute buddy. He's simple. He said, shit, I'm getting out of your car. He said, I'm getting out of your car if you don't have insurance. I'm just laughing at Q Butter. Q Butter's simple. He said, shoot, you talking about a plane. Hell, I'm getting out your car if you don't have insurance. Q Butter said, I'm not going to do it, buddy. But anyway, back to the subject, like you said. So, Brother Ark, in your opinion, what does it mean to be qualified? So we said that in order to be certified, you have to be verified by someone who is qualified. So who do you deem as qualified? Do you have to go through a degreed program or some sort of rigorous program or study where somebody is giving you a degree or a certificate? What do you mean by qualified?
Man, listen. So first point, if you're not an expert, and you've been on this for a long time, stop everybody trying to act like an expert if you're not. You don't have to be an expert. I'm not an expert. Doc is an expert at what she do, right? I'm not an expert. I'm a novice. I practice scientific literacy, and I push that in the community, right? And so I don't play to have qualification I do not have. And I always direct people to the experts, right? And so I feel like I'm qualified to have a conversation because I qualify everything I talk about with the experts. So that gives me a fair ground to stand on. And I don't play the game, and I let everybody know exactly who I am and what my qualifications is. When I'm talking about history, when I'm talking about science, my qualifications is I'm a concerned parent, right? I'm concerned about where the neighborhood is and they thinking. I have a right to stand up to promote stuff that people just don't have in the community. I have an absolute right for that. So my qualification is a concerned parent. I'm concerned about black babies, black children. I'm concerned about the mode of thinking that has corrupted our community. I'm concerned about the misinformation being promoted by non-experts. So I'm qualified to talk about that. We're not talking about going against experts. None of these dudes is experts in what they talking about on YouTube. They
Oh
not.
no, everybody's an expert on YouTube. Oh my gosh, brother Onk. Everybody's an expert. I had people, someone came to my page on IG telling me that the slave trade family, that it never happened because Dane Calloway, they were a student of Dane Calloway. They listened to Dane Calloway. And I keep saying Dane, it's Dan. No, it's Dane. It is Dane. Dane Calloway said that the slave trade never happened. And the white man made it up. And so he said he was a student of Dane Calloway's. And so therefore, because Dane said it. But I told him, I said, Dane Calloway isn't qualified to teach on what he teaches on. But on YouTube, you can be anything and you can say anything, on YouTube. And not even just YouTube, social media, period. YouTube, Twitter, IG, TikTok. On these platforms, a lot of people present themselves as experts and people listen to them. People listen to them because they have a lot of followers. People listen to them because they may be articulate or charismatic. But for whatever reason, people look at them as experts and they simply aren't family. These are people who studied and who's published and whose work been verified by others. These are people simply who are autodidacts who came across some information or misinformation or disinformation that they're disseminating out to the people. But these aren't experts at all. But when you get on YouTube and IG and Twitter and TikTok, they present themselves as experts. And that's why my students, they love to go to YouTube to learn about different things. And you know what I tell them, Brother Onk? I tell them, look, instead of you going to YouTube to learn certain concepts, let me go to YouTube and verify, some of these videos, look at them, and then upload the links onto, our learning management system called Canvas so that the students can watch it. Because I know it's so much misinformation out there, right? And I'm not saying that on these platforms that you can't find, good information, right? Or legit information, but you have to be mindful of who you listen to. Go ahead, Brother Onk. Hold up, and Brother Onk, before you go, I wanted to say shout out to Sean Gales. He said that guy that called Dr. Ben a snake oil salesman, he said, I want to see if he can match Dr. Ben's work. I doubt it. People in the bleachers always want to critique what the greats do. LeBron should have dunked that. Well, let's see you dunk. Ashe, Brother Sean Gale. So appreciate that, man. You ain't lying. Everybody could tell you how to do it, but they never did it. Go ahead, Brother Onk.
I can guard LeBron.
They do. Everybody could tell you how to do it, but they never did it.
Watch out, Money more the quarterback. Man, they should have did this to tackle Lamar. I'd have did this. We all do it, man. We all sit back on the sidelines, right? And say we can do. But what I will say to Brother Corey, man, he actually is part of a team called the Pseudo Killers. And we're actually doing what Dr. Ben did. We're promoting real information. We're promoting scientific literacy. Dr. Ben promoted scientific literacy. Whether he got stuff around historical accounts, that's what it is. It is what it is. And as for us, he wrote books to go through and see that. But Doc did support scientific literacy. And that's the Brother Concrete Corey. We call him Cosmic Corey. He actually supports and promotes scientific literacy to the Black community. He's doing a great job at it. The snake oil comment was really a comment, a shot at me because we fight over that. But you know what I'm saying? For real, man, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So Dr. Ben, I always tell all the brothers on the Pseudo Killers, none of y'all ninjas has taught at a major university for 11 years. The closest I came is when Doc let me in to talk to a freshman class and sophomore class.
And we do that. We do that every year, every semester, actually.
So I mean, that's close, but that ain't no cigar. I got a lot of y'all beat though, god darn it. Yeah. But anyway, so that's not really, I mean, the bros, they throw those snake oil shots, right? They, you gotta be perfect with them, yo. Everything got to be perfect. It's okay. I ain't mad at them. It's good.
And see, and Michelle, that's why Brother Ark, just how he just said he doesn't like some of the guests that I bring on the platform, and that's his prerogative how we argue back and forth. I tell him that I don't even like that he affiliate with the HOK. So he and I've had those conversations. I said, I don't even know why you going on that platform and why you over there with the HOK. She said the whole HOK are frauds and scammers. So I tell him all the time, Michelle, I don't even know why he even affiliate himself with some of those cats. But I digress. I wanted to put that out there. Since you wanted to put that out there, Ark, I wanted to put that out there. Some of these dudes you affiliate with, I've been saying it for years. I'm like, those brothers. I said, Ark, a lot of them dudes. I said they're clowns. I said the books are garbage, and you still wanted to give them a shout out and wanted to do all of that, Brother Ark. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Nah, you actually proved the point. When you start pointing fingers, you got 3-4 point back at you. None of us are perfect. You proved the point. None of us are perfect. Everybody got they standard of what they want to stand on, because that's my spot going over there to the HOK. Son, that is my man. How am I supposed to write this? You just leave him out. Son, that is my man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I admit it's a lot of nuts to be on. He bringing the nuts, yo. He got the nut factory, yo. I'm gonna say that, right? But he never said that he was presenting all scholarly material. His thing was just allow the community to say the talk. I feel like that's wild, right? And he gives me a chance to go over there and correct it. And every time I go over there, I get tomatoes and berries and fruits thrown at me.
Thrown at you every time
right?
you go.
Every time the sleight of hand happened, right? I think something that has gotten better with letting me voice myself, but I had to fight for like 7 years to say, yo, why you always cut me off? Why I had to do this? But now he let me do it fair now. I appreciate Sonetta for that, right? And Sonetta love you, Doc. He love you. He love you. He just
that ain't it's my definition of love and your definition of love is different.
He got sucked in. He got sucked into your man who ended up in the hospital talking about needing help from white people.
But calling behind closed doors, Dr. Ma'at, I want to bring my kids down to Morgan. I need your help. I need you to do. It's like, wait a minute, but you was on Sinetta's bashing me, but then you want to be calling behind closed doors, asking brothers, can you hook me up with Dr. Ma'at? Can she hook me up with this? Can we, and that's why, Brother Ark, I can't, that's why I literally just detach myself from all of that, because it's a lot of mess, it's a lot of foolishness, it's a lot of talk, and it's a lot of waste of time. And so not only should we be listening to people who are qualified, right, or talking about people who are qualified to teach in our community, we need to be listening to people who are actually doing the work, because it's a lot of people who talk, but who's doing the work? So I think that the question not only should be who's qualified to teach in the community, but but those people who come into the community to teach, what is your work? Where is your work? What have you manifested inside of the community? What have you built inside of the community that qualifies you to come in front of Black folks? Because like I said, on these platforms, I see a lot of talking, but I don't see a lot of working. Where's your work? And that is the point that I'm at. Too much talking. It's too much talking. We're beyond that right now. We've been talking. Black folks love to talk. Now we need to move the conversation to doing. What are you doing outside of logging on to your computer, working your 9-to-5 job, going home, paying your bills, and complaining about white folks? What are you doing outside of that? What are you doing to advance Black people other than that? And like I said at the beginning of this discussion, before you logged on, Brother Ark, there's digital work, and then there's real world work. I'm more involved in the real world work. I'll come and go live and have these conversations once or twice a week, but I devote most of my time to actually being in the real world, making a difference, being in the real world as opposed to the digital world.
Yeah, you kill out conversation time. I can't even have a conversation on the phone. I got to get in the schedule or something like that. Yeah, because you get right. It's the truth. You do your boots on the ground with your mother. Your mother's always been education. Shout out to moms, right? Your boots always been on the ground, feeding the homeless. That's your family legacy right there, with the education with your mother and your grandmother, education, buildings named after them. That's what you do. That's I mean, you was raised right to do what you're doing. That's not a
Ashay.
surprise.
Ashay.
Surprise to other people, man. You've been, I mean, putting together real programs, grants, all that real, and they throw bananas at you for doing it.
All the time. All the time. All the
So
time.
this is your YouTube thing is a wink of the eye to the conscious community, still trying to help them, even if they threw bananas at you. You want to bring elders in, like you do that. You know what I mean? Giving people their flowers before they go. I mean, that's your wink at the conscious community, man. But you're thoroughly entrenched in the black community, with real programs, that summer camps. Let's talk about the summer camps that real human beings can go to and get something that's real. That's real, yeah. Right. And shout out to Q Butter. You know, Q Butter got a you're in a hell of a space, Q Butter. I don't know how Q Butter do it. You want to give scientific literacy to a bunch of people that spooked out, bro. I don't know how you do it, Q. You wild. You got a wild spot.
He boots on the ground. He boots on the ground and he manages his time. I'm like, hey, QB right there. He got the kids and the instructors. He doing so much. But then, if you hit him, he's right there. He's right there. He picks up. I was like, I don't know how Q does it because I get so caught up that I may miss phone calls. But Q is, he's on it. He's on it. So shout out to brother Q Butter. He does try. Shout out to brother Baba Amin at the Uhuru Academy. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to Marcus Klein, the Freedom Home Academy. So salute to those brothers who have boots on the ground. And even Baba Baruti and Mama Ya Baruti. Baba, they're still doing their thing. So shout out to them.
No,
shout
that's
out
my
to
favorite.
yeah,
Baruti
absolutely.
is my favorite, right? Early in the game, man. Just always, they might not agree with my approach to banging. None of the elders did.
Oh, Michelle Scott said Dr. Inky on Side Nutter now trying to sell his frozen cups for SEMA. Michelle, I'm not doing this with you. Oh my gosh. She said he's on Side Nutter now selling
frozen CMOS. The most vitamin drink ever, frozen CMOS.
Oh, I'm not doing this. I'm trying to tell you, man. I said I had to detach myself, man.
No, you had to, Doc. No,
Yeah,
really, for your mental health, and you love hard. I mean, like, because I like you couldn't be that accessible, right? And I think you realized that giving people access was a
it was a bad mistake. It was a terrible mistake.
That's why we don't do that. The conscious community dudes, you gotta go through me to get the doc. That's how that works. That's simple.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember I ain't gonna say his name, the one that ended up in the hospital. Remember he called the young
George
man.
Macon, I say it, George Macon.
So
yeah, George, remember that, George? Remember that? Oh, harm the black people and all that, taking people to white people, right? End up like this, smiling in the hospital. Don't make me find that picture on my computer. I
remember the picture. I remember the picture. You sent me the picture of him in the hospital. He was talking all that stuff about white folks. He's right in the hospital going like this, hooked up with the white folks, talking all that stuff, and then told me and family. Let me give you the backstory on this. Let me give you the backstory on this family. George Macon had put out Side Nutter and them. They were having a discussion about not trusting the government. And so, so it's about 4 or 5 dudes on there, and they're like, I don't trust the government. We don't trust the government. And so I called into the show and I said, you got to stop lying to the people. All of us have a certain level.
I sucked you into it as usual. I sucked you into it.
So look, I'm on right as usual. So look, I'm on there and I said, look, guys, I said, all of us have a certain level of trust in the government. Oh, no, sister, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, you all do trust the government to a certain degree. You do. Oh, sister, what do you mean? I said, well, do you grow your own food? No. Oh, so that means you shop at the supermarket, right? Oh, yeah. Well, the supermarket sells foods that are approved by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, which is a government agency. So it's not like you take your food home from the supermarket and put it under a microscope, right? Before you eat it or put it in your refrigerator, right? You don't examine it. So you do have a level of trust in the government. And then I asked them, I said, where do you put your money? I'll put my money in the bank. Oh, okay, so you put your money in the bank, which is also a federal government agency. I think it's regulated by the federal government. Or some people say that it's privatized, but I know that it's regulated, I think, by the FDIC or whatever. But that is the government. So if you don't trust the government, you wouldn't put your money in the bank. Well, sister, where am I supposed to put my money? Well, my Aunt Hattie, peace be upon her soul, she's an ancestor now. When she came, I think it was during the when the Great Depression was going on, she didn't trust the banks, because remember back in the day, those banks would close and take all of your money. So she didn't trust the bank. And so before she passed, we went into her apartment, and she had money stuffed in cans and boxes, cereal boxes, and all sorts of stuff underneath the mattress, because she did not trust the government. And that is how people move when they don't trust something. So they admitted that they shop at the supermarkets. They admitted that they put their money in the banks. And then I asked them, I said, well, are you homeschooling your children, or do you send them to public school? Oh, I send them to the public school system. Oh, is it the public school system regulated by the government? Yeah. But you send the children, the ones you love so much, you send them to the schools of the people you don't trust. It makes no sense. And so I was telling them, we got to be honest here. There is a certain level of trust, even with your electronic devices. The FCC regulates that. Even when you get in your daggone shower, your bathtub to take a shower, who do you think is regulating these things? So come on, man. Can we stop the nonsense and just admit that there is a certain level? I didn't say that we trust them completely. I didn't say we put all trust in the government, but I did say that we have a certain degree of trust in the government. They threw tomatoes at me, family. Oh, Dr. Ma'at is dumb. She don't understand the difference between survival and trust. She doesn't understand the difference between survival and trust. We don't need to shop in their supermarkets to survive. We have the capability of growing our own food. We don't need to send our children to their schools to survive. We have the capacity to educate our own children. So if we don't need to put our monies in their banks to survive. And so for them to say, I was dumb, I don't understand the difference between survival and trust, it was just foolery. So he said all of that. Oh, she dumb, she don't understand, she doesn't understand the difference between survival and trust. Not only did he say that, after he said all of that stuff, he then called me on the telephone. He actually called a young brother in Philadelphia. I forgot that young brother's name, Brother Ankh. Called that brother in Philadelphia. That young brother called Brother Ankh, and then Brother Ankh called me on the three-way. And so then he wanted basically he wanted to form a partnership with me so that I could help him. He wanted to bring some kids to Morgan and wanted to do a tour and wanted to do some stuff after he totally disrespected me on Sinetta's platform. And so anyway, I had to get out of that whole platform, and I stopped surrounding myself with people who do not respect, appreciate, and value what I do. So that's the backstory behind that, family. But Brother Ankh, did you want to chime in?
Yeah, I want to do the real story. You got the backstory. A picture's worth 1,000 words.
You didn't found the daggone.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Mr. I don't trust the government.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see. Let me get the screen share together. Screen share. Whoop. Hold on.
And I appreciate that, Brother Kent. Brother Kent said the pseudo killers boycotted side for that, sis. So appreciate you.
Oh yeah, sure did. It was a good one. It was a hell of a fight. It was a battle royale there. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have the I don't trust the white man picture. There you go. Ha! There you go. There you have it. On the big screen. Have been feeling good since Sunday. That was Sunday when he was talking shit, wasn't it? So I came to this hospital. This place is absolutely empty. He was throwing a shot because he was basically saying that the COVID cases weren't in there, but I'm saying they got a mask on, right? And he's trusting the medical equipment all around him in the hospital. Right, there you go. So there's your trust, your life on the line. Yeah, then we get scared. Right, There you go. You see it, right, Doc?
I see it. I see it. I see it. But Mister, I don't trust the government.
I don't trust the government.
I don't trust the government. I don't trust. So we gotta, brother, we gotta stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop lying to people. Stop lying to ourselves about certain things. But anyway, brother brother Q, did you want to chime in? I'm getting ready to send him the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for anyone who wanted to chime in or say something to brother and myself. We could do this for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna jet up out of here.
Yeah, that's. I just want to say, not to be mean, but I mean, we got to think about what we're saying. The FBA, the FDA. Yeah, I mean, we all have a refrigerator full of FDA. It's called the Food and Drug Administration.
Absolutely.
The refrigerator is full of it. You're giving your children that food, and even if you did your own farming, where you gonna get the seeds from? Right? Pesticides. There's not an inch of land on earth that has not been touched by pesticides. You won't find it. There's no such thing. Yeah, I know we don't like pesticides, but without pesticides, the human race would have starved. And so we just speak out of ignorance about a lot of things.
Yeah, we do.
So humans make mistakes, pesticides, they work on it. They figure out, well, that chemical wasn't right now. Let's change that. This chemical may cause cancer. Like, they're working on it. It's all work in progress. Humans don't know everything. And for us to sit back and judge it as if humans know everything is crazy. And then there's some evil people,
right,
in this world we live in. They're evil governments. They're, governments that enslave people, right? But you'd be hard pressed to find a government that didn't do that. That's another whole conversation. So, I mean, the conversations is live and the conversations is kicking. And, I just like to say, man, yeah, you figure out some qualified people. And I like to use qualified people for sources. Like, I don't use, I'm not, you know me, Doc, I'm not doing it.
No doubt. No doubt. Michelle said, shout out to my Baltimore family. We see the
Baltimore in the building,
coming a long way.
Hilltop in the building, all my Hilltop family. Y'all know what it is, man.
All right, I got the link in the chat. I saw Q said 1 second. So Q Butter getting ready to come in. He getting ready to come in now, brother Ankh.
And brother, and all of them is quiet. They quiet.
And brother Ankh, look, this one I'm getting ready to post on Facebook. I was going to tell you about this earlier. I just won the Excellence in Creativity. Yeah, I wasn't there to get it on Thursday.
Who is that? Is that Doc?
Who? Yep, and that's the Dean.
What? Excellent. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so this is the dean. This is the provost of the university. The provost is kind of like, you have the president, and then you have, vice president. But the provost is like the president right-hand man. And so this is the provost. This is the dean. He accepted it on my behalf because I wasn't there to accept it. But I'll be posting this on social media, just showing everybody the award that I just got from the Office of Academic Affairs. But anyway, brother Ankh, I wanted to show you that. Here go brother Q Butters in the building. Peace, brother Q Butter. What's going on with you?
What's good, family?
Nothing much. You had me cracking up in the daggone chat.
Yeah, we're not hiring no mechanics if nobody can verify you, man. Somebody, I gotta know somebody with a Benz or a BMW that you know what I'm saying? They gotta have an S-Cat. Like, that's where I go to get my car fixed. I'm just not going to anybody. Hell nah. This way.
No doubt, Q Butter. But tell the people what you got going on, Q.
We have a Black Institute, STEM based, so the challenge was, how do you provide parents who homeschool their children with means of educating their children at a low cost? And how do you provide it with a system of making a system that can make sure that they're providing a child with an adequate education that also meets the cultural biases that we've been used to in the system, and of course racism and any other things you want to throw into it. So we have a Black Institute located in Brooklyn, but we also provide the services all over the country. We've been doing remote before COVID started, and we have teachers all over. Our family is, from everywhere. We got 5%ers, atheists, Israelites, Muslims, everybody, spiritualists, a little bit of this. I don't know, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm an atheist. I don't bother nobody with what you got going on. All I care about is the kids actually are learning and at a high level. I was just talking to Dr. Maya the other day. I was like, I don't even want to say STEM like that because it's kind of like overrated. and
You
everybody's
did say it.
coming out the window saying STEM, 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 and they don't even have qualified. You got people that went to school for like math, doing a computer class, talking about they doing STEM. It's like, bro, what's going on? Like, this is crazy. So, I called Dr.
Well, I
Mike.
hear a shot in there somewhere. That's funny to me.
What'd you say?
I hear a shot in there somewhere. That's funny to me. I call
No.
you later, Q.
Yo, I mean,
it's going on doc panel.
Yo, nah, but I'm talking about even in Brooklyn, this is regular in Brooklyn. Like, you got people that's just lost. And so Dr. Mayat, I be calling it, and even myself, like, what I want to do with engineering, like, it's a very refined field, especially with electrical. So when I Dr. Mayat said she was an electrical engineer, she saw how my voice changed on the phone. Like, what? Hold on.
He was pumped. We were on the phone for like 2-3 hours.
Hey, what? You really know some shit. This ain't no. She ain't nowhere near pseudo, y'all. She know her shit.
Yeah, Cuba outlier. He an outlier in New York because I was in a world full of pseudos, yo. And he was the only one was like, yo, put his arm on me and say, I see what you did, yo. You everybody against you. Oh, he a white man. He was like, oh, we by ourselves. And then Cube actually came, he did a little tour and he invited me to speak, man. So that was I spoke at a couple places. And Cube, put me out there to talk to people, man. That's when I knew Cube just wasn't talking, right?
Right.
Like you can say you fuck with me, but when you let me speak to your people, yo, that means you, excuse my language, that means you mess with me. You know what I'm saying? That means you generally care about what I got to say. If you say, yeah, I mess with you, but when it come time to speak, you don't let me talk, I ain't gonna give him the mic, then I know you don't really mean it. You just be nice.
So Q was the one, when they were coming at you, Q was the one that was like, man, I feel you, like I'm with you.
Yeah, he said, yeah, man, met his lovely wife, man, kids, man. He had a program and he let me speak, man. And we went 2 different spots, right?
Wow.
And he had me in there doing that God killer thing, man. Really talking to people, man. Q, he was right there, support. Yeah, I can't remember. That's why I don't let nobody get Q. Like, nah.
Right.
Yeah, Q, it wasn't just the lip service, yo. It was the real. Yo, come on, yo. It was that. So,
right.
We stick together, yo, when it comes to that. Q come on the platform, we try to get him. We can't really get him. It'd be funny. We'd be going back and forth, yo. He'd be right there. And because scientific literacy, man, if you say something is wrong and somebody show you wrong, you say, oh, yeah, you're right, you got me. When Q get me up, like, you right, you got me. That's the difference, yo. We not stuck in a religion. We don't got to be right about everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just don't. And I think that's what our kids got to learn. Maybe it wouldn't be so much harm done back and forth to each other. The brothers and sisters, man, y'all can be wrong in the conversation that may turn to an argument or murder. You apologize to your brother and sister. You know what? I was wrong. We don't do enough of that, saying we wrong. Get the guns. You didn't kill the person. You realize they ain't what they say.
That's true. And look, I just. No, go ahead, brother Q.
Now, I was gonna say, I find in the community we have a strong love for like conversations that can be argued. I don't really like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I think when I saw on the panel before with Dr. Mayan, I was like, look, I like the physical sciences and electrical engineering and mechanical engineering.
He did say that.
Very exact. The biological sciences, I be like, look, man, y'all changed too much for me. Horticulture, all the food, all anything I need biological, I'll be like, look, don't ask me. I can study it, I can talk about it, but on a public platform, it changes too quick. I just told him, I was like, look, they might come out 10 years from now and be like, look, we figured out toilet paper is the reason why people getting cancer in their ass. And like said, he be like, look, we know now. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. So things change.
Right. Thanks to and that's what I said it almost 8 years ago when we talked about how things change and that there's nothing definitive. Like, you're not going to lock me into anything definitive. I'll say that right now, this may be true or this may be consistent with what we know now, but 10 years from now, it may be false. We don't know. So you're not going to lock me into anything that's definitive. But I do want to say this before we move to Mind Elevation TV. Brother Q has a series. Brother Unc, I was on the phone with Brother Q for like 2-3 hours. This was like maybe a month or two ago. He's showing me stuff in his lab, Brother Unc, power supplies. I mean, power supplies that we don't even have at Morgan. I'm looking at his stuff like, wait a minute, brother Q. No, it doesn't. It's not giving voltage and current. He was like, Dr. Ma'at, I'm telling you, it does supply current. I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's only voltage. I end up having to call my technician, Mr. Andre Lewis, put him on the phone, send him the pictures, and he was like, man, this is serious. He said he got some serious equipment. I'm telling you, some serious equipment. I saw the digital multimeters. I saw the microscopes. I saw the power supplies. So my hat goes off to you, brother Q, for doing what you're doing for our babies and exposing them to, you know, electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. And you talked about megatronics I think it was yesterday when we talked, or the day before, but you talked about that you really want to go into, you know, megatronics. And so my hat goes off to you. You got the equipment. You're doing a beautiful job with our baby. So salute to the Ziacs. I need a shirt, man. Where's my shirt, Q?
We're working on it. We working on it, man. We working on it.
Yeah, I got one, yo. I got one.
You got a shirt? Yeah, I'm like,
I'll be in here grind. I gotta make some more shirts there. But shout out to Dr. Maya, to anybody in the platform. I'm looking for smart people, like tinkerers, black people that's into, like, I have 10 telescopes that we really can't use in New York. We have 15 remote control cars, a whole RC station. I'm talking about, if you went to RC, we got a Limitless, Mamba LS2. We got Cratons. We got crazy setup for people that's into it. Full electrical lab, 3D printer, mechanical engineering, carpentry setup. And we just want people that's like, I can't afford it right now. Right now, my budget, I don't want to say I can afford it. Where my budget is right now is like $15, $16 an hour. Like Dr. Maya said, it's not that good, Q. But if that's something you can work with,
now, brother Q, brother Q, don't say that I said it's not
she wasn't saying in a bad way.
That sounds like
leveling up. It's like, because Unc was there, there was nobody. We ain't had no budget. Everything was like, look, yo, volunteer. So I feel now we can at least say we can throw a little $15 an hour at you, 16, maybe 20, but we really looking for people that, you next year this time we're gonna be saying 25 to 30. I promise you, Dr.
I'll be like, Cube. I say, Cube, I ain't got time. See, with Cube gonna put you to work. I was like, Cube, I don't. And see, if I latch on to something, yo, I gotta give my whole heart and soul. And I know I didn't have that time. I had these babies to raise around here. I ain't really had that time. But Cube is ferocious. Come on, Unc. Every year, Unc. Come on, Cube, don't do me like that.
Just look at the curriculum. When they say peer review, I ask look at my curriculum. As soon as somebody say, you want to look at my curriculum? What's up? You want to check it out? You want to read it? You want to talk about it? How do you do it?
And I'm like that. I don't care with that. I like that $15. I'll take that part-time $15 on some easy version.
I take that, no doubt. Mind elevation. Go ahead, brother, and chime in. Go ahead and unmute your mic, brother. Mind Elevation TV. Can you unmute your mic, brother? You got to unmute. Can't hear you, brother.
Probably got to go out and come back again, yo.
Mind Elevation. We can't hear you, brother.
You got to go out and come back.
All right. I guess he's going to go out and come back in. But yeah, that's my guy, Q Butter, right there. All right, family. The link is in the chat. If you have anything you want to say to Brother Ankh and I, come through. Anything you want to say to Brother Ankh and I, come through. Shout out to Miss Tiffany. She said, thumb up the video, family. 100 of y'all came through here. And Miss Tiffany, how many likes do I have in the chat? Tell me how many likes, Miss Tiffany, do I have so far? 100 people that came through here. More than 100 people that came through. So we should at least have 100 likes, Miss Tiffany, in the chat. I mean, on the video. I said in the chat. On the video. It should at least be 100. 100 of them. Let me know, Miss Tiffany, how many you see.
You know who I love? Y'all know if y'all watching Pocket Watching with JT.
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, I love him. He's a certified professional accountant. He done jumped on YouTube. He's calling out everybody. He's calling out everybody. Anybody who's out there selling anything online, I love it. He's calling everybody. And
subscribe, yo. Let me see.
Yeah, Pocket Watching with JT. He's going down the line of everybody. Because sometimes we need to hear it from some people that, like you said, it has a certain level of accolades. And in the community, it's a sadness. I didn't even know that. I'll be honest. Like I said, I didn't know Dr. Mayat was a real doctor.
What do you mean that you didn't know? Like,
No,
what did you think? What did you think?
I'm gonna be
Like, what did you think? Be honest. What did you
I
think?
met a lot of people in the conscious community that said doctor.
Oh, okay.
And so I was just like, all right, I guess this is something that they do, that they just say doctor in the conscious community. So I just was like, whatever, until you said electrical engineering that day. And I was like, oh shit. Oh no, she's serious. No, like, oh, she working at Morgan. Yes. Because I mean, I met a lot of pseudos. No offense to
but that's real though. Because when I came in the community, everybody was doctor too. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, I said, okay. So I'm talking to them. And then I said, oh, okay, I get it. This is a
proclaimed
doctor. Peace to Brother Kent. What's going on, Brother Kent? What's going on when I add people? Kent, you live, brother. Oh, Lord. Brother Kent, say something, brother. Brother Unc, what's going on? The only person who Mike was working was Q Butters. Q Butter came, Q Butter, Mike and everything working. Everybody else come in. Mike not working, camera not working.
I got the sure setup. Yo, and also too, sis, what you said, educational check-in. That's what I think that's what the term we will call it, educational check-in. You shouldn't be just saying that you're gonna pop up on YouTube and you this financial analyst. Like how?
Right.
Like where the hell did that come from? You know, and the fact that you were taught well in your history doesn't mean that I was as well.
Right.
And you shouldn't assume that people are just as ignorant as you were. You know, and I find that heavily in the community. And it's a blend because we need a little bit of it. The conscious community gives that space for people to be open. But there's a lot of blind belief.
My bad, can you hear me?
We hear you, Brother Kent. What's going on? Peace
It's
and love
my
to you,
fault.
brother.
Ain't too much, man. I was trying to get it to play in my headphones, but it wasn't playing. So, how's everything going, man? Unc said I wasn't gonna come on this jump, man. So I said, nah, man, you ain't about to pump me like that.
He was just trying to make you come on. That's why he said you wouldn't come on, because he was hoping that you really came on.
I know.
That's what he was doing. He was just running the game. That's all. Running the game with you. But peace and love to you, beloved.
It's all good. Peace and love to you too, Doc. Yeah, man. Look, I ain't really have a problem with you, Doc. With the conversation that me and Ung had is, which is something we can still even talk about behind the scenes, was that some of the cats that come on your channel, a lot of people look up to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a dude like, RZA come on and you big up what he's saying.
I didn't big up. That's the mistake. So we're gonna stop right there. When I bring people on, I wasn't big enough. I wasn't big enough with what RZA was saying. I mean, the brother came on and he made some good points. I'm not gonna sit here and act like everything was trash. I'm not gonna say that. If there were points that I agreed on, then yes, there was a point I agreed on, I would co-sign it. And there were certain things that I didn't agree on.
True indeed. No, I mean, so the reason, look, the reason we got into that conversation is because of some dudes that I be watching that be talking about some financial stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so Aunt was getting on me like, nah, them niggas promoting pseudo niggas, and so they had. I mean, my bad. I don't know if you cuss on your channel. My bad. I ain't mean to say that.
I don't. But go ahead.
Okay. So he was like, nah, they be promoting a old boy on their channel. So all of them, they con artists. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, Doc do the same thing. She had dudes on their channel that don't necessarily agree with what she follow. You know what I'm saying? So how can you say they con artists if it might just be business? It might just be a whole agenda. Like you said, it's an agenda, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm saying,
everybody
I was telling him, right. So I was telling him that those dudes might be using that to get more followers to their channel, and that's how they rocking. And he argued me down about that. You know what I mean? So that's what we was. That's what when he was referring to me.
We're gonna do that. So you can't see the difference between people aiding misinformation, backing it up 100%, and the person just bringing the person through. So at no point did they talk about vaccines on the platform. They didn't even talk about that. But if you go to the quote unquote Breakfast Club, they all agree with that pseudo information. Oh, Chinese is overtaking the United States government economy. All bad information, bro. They promote, they back that 100%. They back the whole crazy diet they promote. They back all that, bro. Ain't no, that's different. To me, that's different, yo. That's different, yo. That's different.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's different.
and I feel where you coming from.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, most of them when I see them dudes go live by themselves, I don't see them talking that same stuff that the pseudo dude like blue pill and red pill be talking. I see them talking finances. I see them talking stock market. You know what I mean? I don't see them push that. When they had the dudes on, them dudes be on there by themselves. You feel me? Or either they talking to them, but I don't see them,
I mean,
you know,
Wall
spreading
Street
the information.
travel.
Nah, that was different.
I'm just trying to.
That was, but he might be pseudo. But we know how we know. Some people know a certain subject, and then in the other subjects they might be totally dumbing. So that's
Yeah,
how
I
I looked
agree.
at it. Like,
Don't
you
mix
know,
it. No, we different, Kent. Like Kent, like you can have pseudo people on your platform, but don't mix the conversations, right?
I feel you.
So
I
I
feel you.
mean, Doc see the general conversation, but I tell you what though, they RZA proved me right by not being honest to Doc. They lied to her. They
Mhm.
promised that he was gonna come back and had a conversation with Doc. Doc wasn't trying to trick him. At no point was Doc gonna ever allow me to disrespect Visit Islam, which I don't. When I'm on Doc platform, I know what the rules are. Have respectful,
True
don't be
indeed.
umming and umming and cussing. Have respectful conversations. You seen Doc did that with Sean and what's the other guy? What's his
Oh,
name?
Kitty,
Baba Kitty,
Dr.
Baba
Kitty.
Kitty.
Yeah,
Yep,
excellent.
Kitty.
Right, Keely the one gets out of pocket. The pseudos jump out of pocket. So Doc make it a safe place for intelligent conversations. And RZA lied. They lied. They lied. They act like they was coming. They looked me up and realized it wouldn't be a good conversation for them. They know the respect level that we both supposed to have for Doc. It would have never got out of order, but they lied. They cheated.
True
They
indeed.
lied. They faked it out. They did all that to that sister.
They did. They
Yeah,
did.
the sister. It was a good platform to have that conversation, and they straight lied. First, they tried to act like, "Well, I got a family of mercy." Lie. That's what they do.
Yep.
She was
Yep.
like,
That was
"No,
them.
Uncle, really did." I said, "He's lying." Then they came back, "Well, hold on, we're gonna get it." Lie. Well, don't go public. They just lied and they proved their character, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I ain't heard them try to get back on here after that.
Not
And
yet.
look,
Yeah, not at all.
See?
and Doc, me looking up, so like sometimes I look up to you, right, Doc, because you are that, that person in the community that has the qualifications and the certifications, and you talk the real stuff, right? So when I see them on there, I be like, yo, Doc, tear them apart, kill them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you can do it. But I know what it is.
Love
I know
that.
I know it's a show. It's a, what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. And that's what I try to tell On. He like, nah, it's different. Like, nah, man, it's business at the end of the day, man. I can respect that. You feel me? So
No, I feel
that's
you.
all I was
No,
saying.
no. I appreciate it, and I love these conversations that you all, and I love that we can have these conversations like offline and online. Like you all were sharing what you were talking about offline, online, and so I definitely appreciate just us having the ability to have these conversations and to agree with each other or disagree, but in all respect, like respectfully. You get what I'm saying? And so I just appreciate us even being able to have these dialogues, and so I see that brother Mind Elevation TV is back. Brother, is your mic working now?
I think it's working. Can
There
you hear?
we go, brother.
Okay.
Yes, there we
Okay.
go.
Peace
So
and love.
peace and
Peace and
love to you,
love, Dr.
brother.
Maya. I've been watching you for a long time. Peace and love.
Peace and love to you, brother.
You're a
How you
good
doing, brother?
brother. You're a teacher to me. Peace and love, K Butter, and to the other brother, I don't see your name, but peace and love to you as well, brother.
Please, yo, Q is Q, but I know y'all be like semi-Spanish and shit. Y'all be calling me K.
Yeah. all right, all right, Q. I got you. I just basically want to say thank you for allowing me the time to come on here and ask a question. And I do agree with you about certain people should be able to teach our community on these issues, because it's a lot of misinformation, and we need people like you guys to come back and put it in its proper perspective. So I highly agree with you on that. But to my question, which goes out to any one of y'all can answer this, I have a couple. Like I said, I watch y'all a lot, and y'all like my teachers. And I've been watching my children lately, grow and develop on math, science, reading comprehension and such. So I just want to know, what are some of the things that I could teach my 4-year-old and my 7-year-old as far as beginning with science? Any advice on that?
You know what? Who want to take this? Can I take this, brother Unc and brother Q, and then you all chime in?
Yeah, I follow back for you.
Okay, cool. So that's a really beautiful question. At 4 years old, what I would do, to get that child, involved, instead start with the kits. Oh my goodness, you can go right to Barnes and Nobles or on Amazon or on Walmart and get STEM kits. Matter of fact, with my nephew Chase, I mean he's 9. This particular kit, it says 8+, right? But there are kits for children who are younger than that, right? You can get kits, to introduce that child, to different things, different concepts. Also, coloring is really good. Drawing is really good. Reading is really good, because again, reading helps with, like, your memory, your comprehension, your focus. Coloring helps with your concentration, and that's also a skill, right? To color within the lines. So I would be doing a lot of coloring with my 4-year-old. I would also be doing some writing. So you get these handwriting books on how to write your letters. So I would be practicing handwriting, coloring. I would do a lot of reading. I would invest in STEM kits for the 4-year-old. I would also play games with the 4-year-old, games that promote or develop critical thinking skills. So you can get like little word games to help out, to teach them little things. So word games, playing little. I know with my son when he was younger, we played like Scrabble for kids. We played checkers. We taught him chess. And so all of those things promote like critical thinking. So any type of games that promote critical thinking. And some people, I know I may be telling my age right now, brother. Do you remember the game Tetris that we used to play back in the day? I didn't realize with that we were that Tetris. I think I butchered it. Tetris was really teaching us how to be analytical, because remember we had to fit the blocks together. So you're analyzing. You get what I'm saying? You're thinking. So it was cultivating higher order thinking skills. And so, brother, that's what I would do. I would get them games that cultivate, critical thinking and problem solving skills, creativity. So that's your coloring, your art, getting them to draw and things of that nature. I would also invest in STEM kits. I would read. I would work on their writing. And so those are the types of things that I would be doing with my 4-year-old. Brother Ankh, you want to take it?
Yes. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna give you a tool. Hold on one second. Let me get to the tool. What I used. Let me see. Basic tools. And so your 4-year-old, right? You just tell them the truth. You don't gotta sugarcoat it. You can give them the explanations, but simplicity. And so I'm gonna share my screen here. What I did, and give you a tool, and it's a good one for everybody watching. We share the screen here. Okay, y'all see the screen, right?
Yes.
So here you go. Coloring book. It's called Grandma's Fish. All right, Grandma's Fish. A child's first book of evolution. Listen to the title though. Grandmother's Fish. Right? Okay. And you move down here, more tools. Planet Voyages. All right. Okay. Teach them about the planets. It's for the kids, the babies.
Planet Voyages. That's look very good.
Planet Voyages. You give them, like, you don't play this game. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta overfeed them. You don't gotta over black power them. Don't do that, because they're gonna turn their back on you at the end of the day. Right? Just give them a simple, it's different things. Dinosaurs. Look. You give them stuff that's actually in the real world, man. Right. Flashcards, right? Dinosaurs, different things. You just give it to them as kids. Let them be kids. And I think letting them be kids is important. And the mistake we make is we try to over black power them and then they grow up to hate all that stuff, right? You try to make them atheists or try to, man, let them experience life, man. But if you give them the foundation, this is my own personal experience now. I just gave my kids the foundation. I gave them the foundation of Christianity, Islam. I put it in its proper perspective. I talked about African religions, put it in its proper perspective. I gave them the foundation of science, what it means to know. Look, let's look up the word, what it means to know about what, how. Looking and you give them, you don't say God made the sun. You talk about what the sun is a gas.
Right.
Simple forms.
I did that. Not to cut you off, brother.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, brother, not to cut you off, but I did that with my child the other day when I was trying to tell him about the sun and how the sun also has carbon-6 in it. So I was trying to point out the carbon-6 element on the periodic table.
Right.
And that was going to be my next question. Is the periodic table relevant to teach them at this age?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You show them the element chart. There you go. That's the whole point. Give them what we didn't get, bro.
That's
That's
right.
why our minds are so slowed down, because we ain't never get a chance to see that we all went to science class but never made the connection. And we all went to church and we wrongly connected the stuff to the church that shouldn't have been connected. And we wrongly didn't understand what the science class was. The science class was really teaching us about the natural world and things in it, the origin of human beings and origin of the sun. And the religious class was was giving us what we felt like was our spirituality, right? And we got them all mixed up and we never could make the separation. So that's my whole point, man. Give them the simplistic, give them the truth, man.
Right.
Absolutely. And brother, and there's someone in the chat, they mentioned puzzles, and they are 100% correct with that 4-year-old getting some puzzles. And then someone said the Rubik's Cube. They said that's still a great puzzle. Absolutely. Go ahead, brother Q.
Introduce them in the STEM, right?
Yes.
Are you in STEM? Like, what field are you in, brother?
Brother.
As far as me in STEM,
what field are you in?
I'm not familiar with STEM.
That will be the first challenge. Either like what I find personally is like the children who go the furthest, like even with audio engineering, I own a music studio. And with audio engineering, they try to push audio engineering to schools, but audio engineering is a very refined field controlled by people who own music studios. So the music studio is going to be owned by somebody who has the money for it, and they're going to pass it to their children. And they're going to teach their friends and children audio engineering. So like throughout the 80s, it was like almost like a secret science to learn how to really mix and master a song. You had to only go through these engineers. You couldn't go to school. You only could learn from these people. It's very much like you had to be their apprentice. And so what I also learned from that is that apprenticeship early starts from their parents. Like some of the top mechanics have their children with them inside the mechanic shops when they're there. Some of the top coders, their children are sitting right next to them while they're coding. Like I just had my children the other day. My children like are submerged into STEM, and she said, "Kids, I can give you videos, but I will also suggest you yourself take on something in STEM, and also look at it from that space where and then as you're learning it and enjoying it, your child is going to see that, and they're going to want to be around you. You know, every time you pick up the drill, they're going to let me use the drill as well." But make something and let them see you create something and see you focus on being great at that, what you're creating. And that's going to teach them so much. They're going to see you measure. They're going to see you fabricate. They're going to see you align things. They're going to see the process of material, of creation. They're going to see, the schematic components. They're going to see you purchasing the materials. They're going to see you selling it. All of these different things, or however you go about doing it, it's going to be implemented in their head. My father has a patent for producing 3D sound, a method of producing 3D sound. And for the 10 years it took him to create it, I was watching him trying to come up with it, and so it naturally pushed me to be an engineer and so on and so forth. So I would definitely suggest that with you, whatever it may be, because if you're not interested into it, you want to who are you going to have your child around? Because they're going to be competing against a child who is a dentist. Like the dentist I go to, they're 4 generations as a dentist. They grew up in the dental house. Their great grandfather built the space and bought the house in the 40s. So if you, so you're gonna bring your child to a program and buy them a little dental kit or something to expose them. But when they're competing with the top music studio, what you call it, the personal fixed engine studio equipment in New York City is this Russian dude on 34th Street. nobody's going to be able to compete with his children. Nobody. He's the top electrician in the city. You want to get your stuff fixed today? Everybody from Michael Jackson, Diddy, every single person went to this Russian dude on 34th Street. And so being a master at your craft is going to teach that to them. You know, how many barbers you've seen children become barbers? How many doctors you've seen children become doctors?
Not that many.
No, oh, then you must not be in the field. That's typically how it goes. Some of the top electricians, fathers electricians, you look at plumbers, their fathers were plumbers or mothers were plumbers. Like they typically follow suit.
Right.
So
That's true. Go ahead, brother. Continue. Go ahead and build.
Here, I'm gonna do this for you, bro. Something you can look into real quick. All right, take a look at this. This for everybody watching. Y'all see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, take your phones, take your iPhones and download this. Right? Just, scan it. Y'all know how to work that. You can put it right up to the screen and scan. That's going to take you right to it. The definitive guide to 12K schools, right? Very important for you. All right. What is STEAM education? See, they moving up a level, right? And this is an excellent resource. STEAM education is the approach to learning that uses science, technology, engineering, and arts and mathematics as access points to guiding students' inquiry, dialogue, and critical thinking. This is important. This tool right here. So if you want your kids to be critical thinkers, you gotta get to it. Jump to the section. What is STEAM education important? STEM versus STEAM, right? These are all the questions you need to have. But we need at an early age to introduce our kids to this right here. So this is the 12K program right here. If you just take a look at certifications, all this right here, y'all. Right? Y'all homeschool the babies, right? And I never really talked about it, but they mother, we homeschool, right? And we had, and this is crazy to me. And you're gonna be able to feel this, cute butter. That in actuality, only school kids for 4 hours. So your kids asked to be in school for 8 hours when in Georgia it's only really 4 hours. And so that 12K program, instead of us trying to figure out how to do it, we messed with the 12K program and it had everything. It put religion in its right context, science, STEM, all that.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so all y'all don't want to do the homeschool thing, go straight to that. It's right. That's and then it's you can meet the other kids. You can go to the museums, the observatories and all that. And because I remember trying to, educate the kids, and we was all over the place. There was no rails. We was trying to figure out what's good, this. Man, that 12K program, yo, they sent you a free computer and they gave it to you raw.
Love it. Love it. I just want to say before I pass it to Q Butter, because I see his and I know where he's getting ready to go. And Q Butter, I love the video that you created on the trust bridge. We actually showed it to our babies in conscious ingenuity. But I just had to plug Michelle Scott. I love Michelle. Michelle said Dr. Ma'at was the first on telling y'all about them frauds, but people did not want to listen. Brother Og, you didn't listen to me. I kept telling you about certain people. You didn't want to listen to me. I told people about the Young Pharaohs and the Polites. Everybody threw tomatoes at me, told me I was a man hater and all kinds of stuff. But I told y'all, thank you so much, Sister Michelle Scott. Go ahead, brother.
You told me that Pharaoh was a fraud. You had to tell me that.
No. I'm talking about the people in the circle. I ain't gonna name no names, but the people that was in the clique. Within the clique. I ain't gonna say no names, but the people that was in the people that was in the clique, brother. Okay. But go ahead, brother Q.
But look, Doc, I gotta get out of here. I told you I only had a certain amount of time.
Okay, but go ahead, brother. Appreciate your input, brother.
Appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to everybody on the panel, man. Q Butter, the brother just came in. Appreciate you, brother. Dr. Ma'at. Shout out to the audience, man. Shout out to the Real Black Atheist, man. Real Black Atheist on Fire channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. Subscribe to the Pseudo Killers, man. We going to that Sunday class tomorrow morning. Be in that, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Black African Power, man. Pseudo Killers on deck, man. Real Black Atheism is on the rise. Appreciate you, Doc. And
appreciate you, brother. Peace and love. Go ahead, brother Q. I got my youngin' getting ready to come in here too. My youngin', he getting ready to come in here. Go ahead.
Oh yes, I was gonna say the brother. Anybody who owns, we off the home program for homeschooling, but we put our videos up online. So these are some of the projects we do with the children. So you can do this for dirt cheap, and all of these right here you can do. You can just do this with your children. You can go on the page. You got the full explainer. I don't have the explainer. This is like she was talking about. This is an explainer video, and I'm gonna be uploading the explainer videos for each one. But this is a focus on structural engineering, intro to mechanical engineering. And these are different projects that you can sit there. If you're a parent, you want to introduce them to STEM. And you can just make it with them and let them continue to do it. Not the first time it's all gluey and stuff, but gets into the point where they can explain the actual scientific applications that are being used within each project. But we have all types of stuff, from making a magnetic stir from scratch, 8x8 houses with a truss bridges, catapults, hydraulic bridges, hydraulic cranes, 2-axis trains. I'm going to be adding a bunch of, this is my son doing the Osoyo kit with a bunch of basic projects, but we're going to be adding a bunch. We have like a whole assortment. It's going to be, we're doing it all over, but this is available right now. So you can go in and just start doing some STEM projects with your children now. All you need is popsicle sticks and glue sticks.
Brother Cube, can you put that that link in the chat for Mind Elevation so he can grab it?
Gotcha.
Yeah, please put that link. And also people in the chat family, you want to do these projects. I got my youngin in the building. Everybody say, where's your work? Peace to this my youngin right here. Jalen, what's going on, man?
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good. I finished the activity from the Saturday STEM, and now I'm just chilling.
Okay, so he said Saturday STEM. Let me show you all what we're talking about. So each Saturday, we have Saturday morning STEM with Dr. Ma'at. So on Saturdays, we wake up and we work on STEM. All right, so let me stop sharing. So you said you finished it. So your mom sent it to me. So I saw the video. You actually got the lion walking. She's going to order another kit so you can get the pieces to get the other leg of the lion walking. But shout out to you, Jalen, man, for getting that working. I love how you always problem solve and you always figure it out. But brother, but Jay, I want to say this to you, right? I want to just brag on you for a little bit. So Jay is 12 years old and he is extremely, extremely brilliant. Hold up, Q. I'm gonna mute you real fast because I hear some feedback, Q. So Jalen is extremely brilliant. Jalen loves STEM. Jalen is a problem solver. Jalen is a critical thinker. His parents are doing a marvelous job, pushing him in the STEM field. So supporting his interests, as I should say, in STEM. And so it was just an honor and pleasure to meet Jalen. He's actually a part of the Meltrek episode 3, which is going to be dropping in December. He's a part of that. And so I met him there. So he's a character in Meltrek episode 3, but his mother and I, we just started talking and she said, any programs that you have, Doc, send them my way. And I said, sure. Right. And so we end up offering a program. It's called the Verizon Innovation Program at Morgan State University. It's a 4-week program where children are exposed to design thinking, smart solutions, and artificial intelligence. So shout out to Jalen. He just finished that. Not only did Jalen complete that this summer, he also went to Emory University down in Atlanta, Georgia. He completed the STEM program down there. Then he came back to Baltimore and he was in my Asafo training camp, a camp that was co-founded by myself and Baba Imhotep. It was a 1-week camp for young boys between the ages of 12 and 14, which focused on character building, fitness, and self-defense. And so he went through that on top of meeting with Doc every Saturday for an hour to learn about STEM. So we salute you. These are the future. People always ask me, Mind Elevation, why do you focus on the youth so much? Because I want to influence the future. And the only way that I can influence the future is by developing the people who are going to be there. See, Mind Elevation, hopefully I'm here for another 40, 50 years. But guess what? If I'm not, I got a whole army of children that's going to be there who will be 40 years from now. Jalen to be 52. And he's probably like, ooh, Doc. But he'll be 52 in 40 years. But if you want to influence the future, then you got to develop the people who are going to be there. So I just want to show off for a little bit. So Jalen, can you answer some questions for Doc real fast before you jet out, man?
Sure.
Jalen, what's an electric circuit?
An electric circuit is a close connection between different points or nodes.
So it's what did you say? Say that one more time.
It's a closed connection that allows current to flow between different nodes and points.
Okay, so it's a closed connection. Okay, so a closed loop that allows, you said, current to flow. But we always, sometimes we hear the word current and sometimes we hear the word charge. What's the difference between current and charge? I'm just curious.
Charge is the amount of electricity that is contained within your circuit, while the actual current is like the movement, the flow.
The flow. So absolutely. So current is the flow of electricity or the flow of charges. So it's the rate of change of charge. Good job. Now, Jalen, I know that with circuits, they can be arranged in, the components can be arranged in series and also in parallel. Could you tell me what are the conditions that have to be met in order for components to be arranged in series?
For a circuit to be in series, it has to have one node and the current stays the same.
Yep. So the components have to share at least one node, and the current is the same through each of those components. Good job. So what are the two conditions in order for the components to be arranged in parallel?
For the components to be arranged in parallel, it has to share two or more nodes, and the voltage stays the same.
Excellent. So they share two nodes and the voltage remains the same. What is a resistor, Jalen? I'm just curious. What's a resistor?
A resistor is a component that limits or inhibits the flow of current.
Absolutely. What's an LED, Jalen?
An LED is a light emitting diode that just kind of shines light from the component.
So LED is a light emitting diode. Good job. And so, okay, good job. I don't even want to keep going. What's a switch, Jalen? I'm just curious. What's a switch, man?
A switch is a component that can open and close the circuit to stop the current from flowing or restart it.
Okay. All right. What's a conductor, Jalen?
A conductor is a type of material that allows current to flow through it.
Okay. What's an insulator?
An insulator prevents current from flowing through it or inhibits it.
Absolutely. Malcolm Robinson asks, he said, what's the difference between an open and closed circuit? Kill him, Jalen.
An open circuit doesn't allow current to flow, while a closed circuit does.
Come on. Come on. So this is the future, family. Give it up for Jalen, everybody in the chat. They say awesome. Give it up for Jalen in the
Black
chat.
Power. Hold on, I got one question for everybody in the chat that you got to ask. What's your Cash App?
What's your Cash App, Jalen?
You can ask my mom.
Go ahead. Put mommy on.
That's what everybody now is your Cash App.
Put mommy on. Put mommy on real quick. Or tell her to text me your Cash App if she don't want to get on the camera. She could text me. What does she want to do, Jalen? Does she want to get on or she want to text? So family, this is what we have to do. And so, brother Mind Elevation, when I tell you what's working, I'm not just giving you suggestions off the top of my head. Mind Elevation, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I can, doctor.
Yeah. So when I'm suggesting things to people, I'm not just saying this stuff off the top of my head. I'm showing you the people that I'm developing. I'm assisting with developing, because of course he has a whole village behind him. But I'm showing you the people that I'm pouring into. And I can actually call up several other kids to come in here and kick some STEM knowledge. And not only kick the knowledge, they can come on here and actually build something. Q Butter can do the same. So we're not just suggesting things off the top of our heads. You get what I'm saying? To you, I just wanted to show you what we're actually doing and what we're actually producing. Jay, what did mom say? Does she want to text me text me the Cash App, or what she want to do? She want to get on camera?
I'm still waiting for a response.
Okay. Let me see. That's Dad. Tell Dad I said what's up. Tell Dad I said peace.
All right,
hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna text your mama now and say what is his Cash App. But sometimes, Jay, your mother don't answer the phone, man. I mean, she don't answer. She answers the phone, but she doesn't respond to the text. So sometimes you got to ring her phone, Mrs. Blackwell. But she will pick up the phone. She won't respond to the text. I just text her. So waiting for her to call so people could show you some love, Jay. Good looking, Q Butter, on that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Show him some love. Put a couple dollars in your pocket, Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is our work, man. Q buddy, you got to bring some of your students on here and show off a little bit, Q.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I have no problem with that. Hell yeah. That's all coming out to your school. We coming out there to learn some more from you, get some of them skill sets.
Oh yeah, I'm calling her. I'm calling your mom now, Jay, to see what the cash. See if we can get your cash at. Hey, Mrs. Blackwell. Hey, I'm live, and the people want to shoot Jay some money. They ask for his cash app. Does he have a cash app, or do you have a cash app that we can use? You breaking up, Miss Blackwell? Okay, what's his father's? What is this? What is it? And that's his cash app. Okay. All right. So this is his dad's. Thank you, Mrs. Blackwell. This is his dad's. This is his dad's cash app, family. So please let's show him some love, family. Let's show Jalen some love. Thank you so much, Q Butter, for the suggestion. Let's show Jalen some love. This is what we need to be doing with our babies. Yep, Alan Blackwell. $ Alan Blackwell. That is his cash app. All right, so let's show Jalen some love. Jalen worked really, really hard this summer. Like I said, he went to 3 different camps. One was a 4-week camp. The other one was a 1-week camp. And the other one was a 1-week camp. So he was in camp for 6 weeks. And he's in every Saturday. He's online. He's meeting with me via Zoom, to work on STEM projects. And he just said he had the STEM project working. Do you have it near you, Jalen, by any chance?
I am currently at my grandmother's house, but I believe my mom has the video of it functioning.
Okay, yeah, I have the video. She texted me the video because it wasn't working while we were on with each other for that hour, but you got it working afterwards. All right. All right, family. So it's Alan, $ Alan Blackwell. That is his cash app. Thank you so much, Jalen, for coming on, man. And I'll see you next Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Peace and love, man. Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, family. So let's give it up for Jalen. Let's give it up for Jalen. I could call in some other warriors too now. I got some other warriors I can call, but I can save that for another show. But that's one of my warriors right there, one of my Asafos. I call him my youngin'. And you see Mind Elevation. My youngin' is tight.
Yes, he is.
He's tight. He's tight. And
he's very well rounded. I didn't even tell you I have an associate's degree in electronics and computer technology.
Beautiful.
And I studied the RVIP chart, which is resistance, voltage, current, and power. So I know exactly what he was talking about when he means series and parallel circuits. So he hit that shit right on the head.
Yeah, he was right there. But I thought you told Q. You didn't do STEM.
Oh no, I didn't. I don't. I just, that's just something that I picked up along the way. I'm 36 years old.
Oh, okay. I thought that's
all my life,
So what do you do now?
I actually do music engineering and I teach constitutional law to people, on the street, brothers who, have a hard time with dealing with police and creating lawsuits for themselves.
We're adding a class to our institute. We're adding a whole new concentration. And I was going to talk to Dr. Mayat, but it's one of the challenges we have is to like Uncle was saying, we don't want to over black the program. We have a lot of conscious parents sending their children and they're like, why am I here? I just want to be with my friends. I don't want to learn this STEM stuff. And so we're adding social justice to our curriculum.
Yeah.
And so that might be something. Then you also do engineering. So I'm trying to recruit you now, trying to get you part of the Zions Institute because you said you do electrical, and you do a constitutional. We're looking for teachers and people to be involved.
Yes. I'm highly interested. We can exchange emails through here. I can put my email in the chat. You can reach me there, and we could dialogue after or maybe tomorrow or whenever you want to make arrangements to do that. I have no problem with that.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful. So family, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Please sign up for the Conscious Ingenuity program for your baby. We offer in-person sessions as well as virtual sessions. So I want you to click on the link that I just dropped in the chat, scroll to the bottom, and sign up. Okay. So as soon as there's another session happening, you'll get the information, whether that's in person or virtual. You will get the information, family. You will get the information. Yes, Brian, my young boy. Yes, Brian, it is live. Brian Grimes. Yep. We are live, family. All right. So please, 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 family, sign up. Sign up to Conscious Ingenuity. Okay. I just dropped the link in the chat. All right. For more information, sign up. And so, like I said, we offer in person as well as virtual STEAM sessions. I know that Kevin said we keep forgetting that A. And look at this. Conscious ingenuity, we're building character, confidence, and capabilities through STEAM. So I know I say STEM a whole lot, but it's just out of habit. But we're building it through STEAM. So that's science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Within this program, we expose children to coding, circuits, robotics, cybersecurity, songwriting, storyboarding, animation, and history. Our character education, the foundation for our character education is African history and culture. All right. And so our children learn about Ma'at, they learn about the Nguzo Saba and things of that nature. So, family, again, the whole objective of Conscious Ingenuity is to produce conscious STEM ready people. And by conscious STEM ready people, I mean people who operate with the highest integrity and people who are equipped to nation build. All right. So the objective again of Conscious Ingenuity is to build conscious STEM ready people. So people who operate with the highest integrity, highest character, and people who utilize their intelligence, their skills, and their talents to nation build. All right. And so that's what Conscious Ingenuity is about. So, family, be sure to sign up today. You don't have to, it doesn't cost anything. You're literally just joining our email list, right? And so that means that when something is happening, we'll shoot you an email blast. Hey, you can enroll your child, or you don't have to enroll your child, but at least you can stay in the loop. Brother Q Butter, do you have any closing words, brother, for the listening audience?
Yeah, push black, get your babies out of that school system if you can. If you can't, find some type of supplemental program like Dr. Mayat was showing, or any programs like myself that you can get your program child out of. So I have an institute. We can get your baby out of the school system full time.
Show the website, Q. Show the website.
Got you right now. There's our institute right here.
Please drop the link in the chat too, brother Q.
Will do. So there's our programs. I'm actually gonna be updating it a lot in the next 2 weeks. So you're gonna be seeing I'm actually gonna put in the full curriculum available on the website. So anybody want to steal, you go ahead and steal, whatever. You gotta know how to do it, how we do it. But you have to be homeschooled to be in our program. We provide the service to the parents. But yeah, this is for anybody who's trying to figure out how to homeschool. Don't let anybody sell you information on homeschooling. This is perfectly free. You can click on it. I have most states information. You can click on it and go directly to your state and figure out the process of homeschooling in your state. Each state is different, and we are pretty familiar with. We have students in almost every major city, and we're pushing to compete with K-12s who want to get our enrollment up. We do start at 11 p.m. Eastern time because we are across the board, like across the nation. So for our California students to get everybody to start at the same time, we do start at 11 p.m. or a.m. Eastern time.
So Q, how long is it? How long are people on virtually? I'm just curious.
11 to 6. They have an hour lunch Monday through Friday.
Okay. All right. Let me put this in the chat. Family, the Ziax Institute, family, ziaxinstitute.org. You see it on the screen. www.theziaxinstitute.org. I agree with Q, but let's get our babies out of the public food system. Oh, I'm sorry, brother Q. I didn't mean to say public food system. I meant to say the public school system. So let's get our babies out of their family. And this is another African-centered institution that I support. As a matter of fact, Jalen, my son Jalen, will be attending this institution in the fall. This is the Uhuru Academy that was founded by Baba Amin and his queen Mama Nkoyo. And so they are strictly virtual, but there is a campus, I heard, in South Carolina, family. All right. And so I'm going to put this link in the chat as well. you can click, let me see, consultation and training. So you can sign up for some consultation with Baba Amin of the Uhuru Academy.
Homie right there.
No doubt. No doubt. Let me put the link in the chat. So you see Zayax is on the screen. I'm getting ready to drop the Uhuru Academy link. Okay, so you go to www.uhuruacademy.com. Brother Mind Elevation, do you have any closing words, brother, for the listening audience?
Yeah, I highly agree with y'all on everything y'all said, and I highly appreciate you giving me all the information. It definitely has helped me, and I'm definitely going to be looking up on this right now. I'm going to check every website you gave me and all the information you gave me right now, so my child can start immediately. This is great information, and it's great food for thought too. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on having your boots on the ground. That's very important. Q Butter, I'm gonna hit you up in an email. Dr. Maya, I would love to come on your platform one day and have a conversation and a dialogue about constitutional law and how it's very important for our people to know, you know, constitutional law to deal
Absolutely.
with, you know, the opposition.
Absolutely.
You know, my email is in the private chat, Dr. Maya.
Okay, and let me put my email in the private chat as well. And you're right. You know, Huey P. Newton and the Black Panther Party, that's what they were saying. Remember, Huey knew that stuff off the top of his head. Because you said, like, yeah, that's and he used it, he weaponized it.
That's right.
You know, and so like you said, it's very important that we know the law. And in speaking of the law, we're reading my book club on the 21st. We're starting our new book, The Color of Law. Okay, so this is the new book that we will be reading. We're going to discuss the preface and possibly chapter 1 on, what matter of fact, next Sunday. Next Sunday, we will be discussing the preface and and possibly, you know, chapter 1 next Sunday. So this is the new book that we will be reading, The Color of Law. And so, family, if you want to join me, just tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, starting August the 21st. If you also are interested in purchasing the book, please get it from an independent Black store first. You know, shout out to Everyone's Place in Baltimore. They ship everywhere, family. They literally ship everywhere. They ship around the world. They ship around the country. Okay. And so that is a Black independent, you know, cultural store. And so they do carry books. Right. And so if you want to get the book, I suggest you go there, because so often, brother, we always go to Amazon, right? Yeah. And we, you know, we typically go to Amazon because it gets here faster. You know, we get it. Right. We want it now. We want it tomorrow, you know. And so we run to Amazon and we get it. But we got to support our Black independent bookstores. All right. So anyway, I don't have anything left. I'll probably end up going live again in a couple of days. There's so many topics, so many things that I want to discuss. So family, just make sure that if you haven't subscribed, that you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that whenever I go live, you will be notified. Also, when you do hit the notification bell, hit the drop down. It's like a little drop down button or something like that. Subscribe to all notifications so that whenever I go live or upload things, you are alerted. And family, I'm not like Dr. Boyce Watkins in them, or what's the other guy that goes live all the time? Roland Martin. Roland Martin and Dr. Boyce Watkins, they're live like every 5 minutes. I go live maybe once or twice a week. So you don't have to worry about getting a bunch of notifications from me. Okay, so make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell, subscribe to all notifications so that whenever I go live, you will be notified. Thank you so much for tuning in, family. And if you don't tune in to me again, have a beautiful Blacktastic weekend and Blacktastic week. Ashe.